Are golfers mentally tough or actually very mentally weak? We discuss. Our movie review this week is the high-flying Top Gun Maverick, and we wrap up the show with our top 5 TV shows from adulthood. These TV shows are absolute bangers. All that and more tonight on the Lazy Dogcast. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 14 of the Lazy Dog Cast.
Lazy Dog.
How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. I've noticed we were getting on Hainer because I'd say like Lazy Dog, and he would come in with something, and it was always like kind of stupid or like silly. And then today he just was quiet.
I'm letting you guys do your thing, man.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, keep swinging, dude.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hit a home run if you don't
guys,
swing.
you guys crack the can, and then I'd take a sip here. You know.
There it was.
What kind of can is it? Yeah. There's the dumb stuff we're talking about.
It's a non-alcoholic.
There's the incomplete thoughts we're talking about. All right, I have a couple questions for you, dude.
All right.
I have a hot take, maybe.
Okay.
We kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier on here. I think golfers are mentally weak because everyone else is getting heckled. Football, basketball, they're like right on the court, right? Fans are on the court literally talking trash, doing whatever. Baseball, heckling, like it's all part of the game. In golf, if you're over a shot and someone says something, like it could just be a thing. It couldn't even be a heckle. And they're like, really, guys, can we get a hold on that? Can we control that over there?
Yeah.
And they'll kick fans out.
Yeah.
They'll kick fans out of the tournament if they're too loud or heckling or whatever. It's just like, dude, you are a professional. I understand it's the whole golf etiquette thing.
Yeah.
Which also, I went golfing this morning with my dad and a bunch of group of guys, and I could care less. Like talking in my backswing, I talk in my backswing? I'm holding, it doesn't matter to me. I'm also a terrible golfer, but I'm having fun. And I'm just like we golf with a guy that's like, he would back off and be like, all right, can you give me a second? I'm like, oh, so if I'm whispering back here while you are taking yourself way too seriously.
So where do the origins of that come from? Because you're out golfing, in small groups by yourself. You're practicing sometimes by yourself or other groups and stuff. So it's not like you have a grandstands around you or whatever. So I get, but it's like any other sport though, like basketball and that. You're not practicing in front of fans or all these people, right? Yeah. So it's like you're all in these different environments under practice, constraints, and then you get into the real thing, and then there's the audience, there's the fan, there's the noise. So it's like, why is golf different in that aspect? Where did that even come from?
I have no idea the actual origins.
Because the first golfers were sissies, and they're like, can we make everyone be quiet?
And they're wearing like puffy pants.
I just think I think there's the culture around golf is very like upper class, very,
bougie,
like very bougie, very like
very 5-star restaurant.
Yes, 100%. Very much this whole idea of like there is a standard to meet of decorum also, not just in play. Like tennis, for example. Tennis is another one like this. But you are not supposed to be yelling. Tennis players will do this too, actually. They'll throw it up and if somebody yells, they'll grab it.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, quiet down or whatever. I don't know if it's there's certain sports like these country club sports are like an upper class, like rabble. You don't want any of the rabble rousers in there and doing anything crazy.
Is it rabble rousers or rebel rousers?
I don't know. I would say rabble.
Rabble.
But I don't know.
A rabble rouser.
Check guess myself.
RABBLE? Rabble?
Maybe. I've never even.
I think you're right though. It was born in the country club.
Yep.
So that you can't act like a jackass or else.
Yep. That's my guess. Who knows?
So then I'm right then, dude.
But I don't know if it's mentally weak. I think it's just pampered. Because like golf is a completely mental game. It's all mental. Like, as far as like, you're right about dealing with heckling, but dealing with the game itself takes a high degree of mental strength, I think.
For sure.
Because you have to be able to, like, you have to make a bad shot and recover. Again, nobody else's fault. Nothing else to blame but yourself.
I agree with you. But if you can't even get the ball in the air because someone's talking in your backswing, I think like that's like game over.
Yeah.
I for sure see all that, and there's pitchers that can't come back from being heckled. So like you can make the case about individual athletes in sports or whatever, but
nobody else is like calling to this. Like you don't see a pitcher or a guy step off the free throw line, right? Out the free throw line, say, "Hey, that guy's talking while I'm trying to shoot a free throw."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I want to see. Dude. There's been. You guys have shown me some of the comments because I'm not on these platforms. There's just hate out there.
Yeah.
Some red-blooded hate. I'm welcoming it all. Just comment on the videos or whatever. But again, I like to see a good, funny troll. Like just wild, going out of your way to just type in something.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see some golfers that are just calling me like a fat slob.
Yeah.
That I don't know anything about golf, and his handicap's probably a 78.
It's wild, especially on shorts. That's what really gets me because shorts are so fast. Right, you're scrolling.
I don't even have time to hit the like button.
That's what I'm
most
saying.
Of the time, dog.
You stopped. You have so much hatred for a channel with 60 subscribers. Right, we have 60 subscribers and 60 followers.
Blake, day one.
Yes, yeah. You have so much hatred that you got to stop.
If you're listening right now, make it 61.
Exactly. There you go.
We throw a plug in there.
Put in extra work just to spew your hatred. It's wild to me.
Hey,
imagine rolling over to your wife and like, babe, look at this moron.
Yeah.
And just showing her a video of us talking. And she's just like, okay, I'm going to tell him he should die tomorrow with his entire family.
Yeah. What?
Hey, quick update.
That person doesn't have a wife. That person that's saying that doesn't have a wife.
Mom.
Sure.
Yes.
Mom.
Yes, exactly.
Come down. When you come down here, I got something to show you. Bring a cheeseburger.
100%.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Okay, update. The term is rabble rouser.
It is rabble.
Dave was close.
R-A-B-B-L-E.
I said rabble, yeah.
Rabble? Okay, yeah. Dave
R-A-B-B-L-E.
I would have guessed rebel. That's what I would always say. Yeah, R-A-B-B-L-E. Nice. And it is one that stirs up the masses or the people, also hatred or violence. So,
we should do it. We should do
causing problems.
We should do a topic on that one time of like sayings that everyone says but they're wrong about. Like rebel. Like I have always thought it was.
Is that an expression or a saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, Blake.
But like rebel rousers. Stay tuned, Blake.
Blake's getting shot.
That'd be a good one.
It'd be like, it's kind of like a Mandela effect. Similar, but with like phrases.
Well, like I could care less.
Sure.
I couldn't care less. Like there's different things like that. Like there's a few out there.
I've also heard there's expressions that have like origins that like are so bad that we probably should never say them again. Like taking somebody to the woodshed. That has some. If you got some time, look that one up.
What is it?
It's not good.
Yeah.
Well, just tell us. What is it?
I don't know if I can say it.
It's a podcast, dude.
It's a family channel, dude.
Can someone tell me? Was slavery or something?
No, it implies taking somebody against their will to the woodshed, and you can fill in the rest.
Oh,
or I've heard they have him over.
Why would you even bring that up, dude? This is a family show, dude. Jeez, Hainer, this is a family show.
Hey, man,
that's funny.
I try to prepare you.
Yeah, or similar vein. They had me over a barrel. Or they have him over a barrel.
Yeah.
Like that's that was even more obvious. Like of what it is. It's like what?
Well, when you say that, I'm like, I got you there.
Yeah.
Woodshed, I thought was just like, I thought the woodshed's like you're getting a whooping in the wood. Like go get, I don't know.
No, I thought they would.
And then when you were all quiet about it, I was like, oh, maybe it's slavery. And then all right, moving on. I have another one.
Okay.
Maybe another hot take. I don't know. I feel like there's way more people on my side on this one than will be on the golf thing.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball players back in the day, give me a bat, brother. I'm a Major League Baseball player. Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Look it up. I looked it up. Dude, Babe Ruth played from 1914 to 1935. The average fastball he faced was 80 to 85 miles an hour. I was all state check, dude. All state baseball player. Not a big deal. But my dad used to always tell me to swing a heavier bat because I swung a 33 inches long, 30 ounces. And he's like, dude, when I was in high school, I swung a 35-32. Like you gotta get some weight behind your swing. I'm like, dude, when you were in high school, you were looking at 79 mile an hour fastballs.
Yeah.
In our district, everyone had a guy who would dust 90, and I'd say the average was 80, 83, 86 kind of thing. It's like I was a great hitter, to some degree.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth, dude.
I think so.
I'd be a professional baseball player back in 1920.
I was
100%.
Of the professional sports, you think for yourself at least, baseball would you go back to 1930.
I was about to say Jim Thorpe, but he didn't play both. I don't think. I'm Deion Sanders, bro.
Bo Jackson.
I'm Bo Jackson. I'm playing
you're
both football
all the sports?
and base. Yes, brother. Yes.
Hey, you know one that I'm like, hey, maybe I'd be good at it, but I'm not even, hockey. I don't want to go out there with no mask and do all that. Back in, they had like zero safety protocols. Like, no,
it's still like that.
But you're throwing the leather helmet on though in football.
100.
So what's funny is I think I would agree with you because you're a good athlete. If you take you from your peak, whatever your peak was of your life,
yes,
and you take exactly you
yes.
and just like time travel you and drop you,
yes,
right? But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is like which I would agree with you.
But time out. I just got to call back to when we talked about time travel on the podcast.
Yeah,
and you're like,
but
you're in the same space. So I just like, I'm in the 1920s. I'm like, okay, I'm in Wichita,
Kansas.
I gotta go. I gotta walk to Kansas City.
Yep.
They've said all these rules. Yeah.
But no. What was I say?
I screwed you up.
Something.
Bro.
I was saying something.
Take me in my peak performance. Drop me in back.
Yes. Okay. So it's you're
time?
right, but it's not really fair. It's not fair because those guys didn't start playing baseball until they were adults. They didn't have the nutrition, didn't have the training, didn't have the weight room.
But
here's the thing:
they were all in the backyard. That's all they did all day.
Maybe not.
No way, bro.
Not
They
at the
were
same
plowing
level,
fields.
Not the same level.
What I'm saying is, again, back to all the rules Dave has when he time travels or like on his dude. I don't care about. I'm just saying,
sure,
give it to me, and take me back there. I'm better than a lot. They're writing history books about Colin McEntee.
But I also watched that like the video from 1930s that we watched, and it's like, did anybody talk about form back then, or was it just like you either hit or you can throw hard and that's it?
Well, that's what
they're just like, oh, see, he can throw the ball.
Well, to Dave's point, you were too busy doing like a lot of those guys had other jobs or whatever.
They had day jobs.
Just pick up a bat, like, hey, this guy can hit the ball pretty good.
That's true.
And there's no one like, hey, get your elbow up, do this.
Hey,
do
they
that.
didn't travel two states away to play their third tournament in state. And,
in a week,
in
a month,
like 12 games over the weekend, and
So you're exactly right, but that's my one argument. I guess when people compare eras and say like, oh, these players are better than those players. Like, well, yeah, but they had massive advantages over those players. Like if you took Wilt Chamberlain, I'm smacking Wilt Chamberlain, right? But if he grew up now, his body is the same. His body is the same. He grew up now.
Well, Chamberlain now would be like Karl Anthony Towns.
Well,
maybe he'd be even better. Right?
I had this reverse argument. with my Uncle Pat. My Uncle Pat played D tackle at Texas Tech, and he was visiting, and we're talking about like old football players. It's like a fun game we play at the dinner table, and I was like, he's like best linebacker. We're like Mount Rushmore in it kind of thing, and I was like, I think that the top though has to be like Luke Kuechly, and he's like, no, Dick Butkus. I'm like, well, he's on the list because he's like the one who did it all, but Luke Kuechly's way better. He's like, why? And we're arguing, and if you've been to the McEntee's house, dude, when we argue, we get fiery. But I looked up the stats, very similar stats, like tackling and everything else.
Yeah.
But like my argument was the game is way faster. Dick Butkus had to worry about power eye right, power eye left, toss.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly's making all the same tackles as he is, as well as covering all Tyreek Hill down the seam, like all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, there ain't no way. Now, is it fair for Dick Butkus? To your point, no, it's not. But if we're gonna play this in this fake arena, they're
fake
like,
arena.
dude, yes.
Because the flip side of that would be you take Dick Butkus and fast forward him into our time, but give him like 5 years, like to college and everything else. Like, could he still be the same athlete and compete?
No,
at our
he
level?
couldn't.
I don't think 5 years would be enough. This is your entire life.
Yeah.
This is from the day you could carry a football. You're playing and preparing for football. Back in the day, it was not the same. The level of like athleticism early on is just like miles and miles ahead of what they were doing back then. Like Jerome Bettis didn't start playing basketball or didn't start playing football until he was either in 8th grade, maybe.
Right. There's like, several of those. There's several of those stories. Like, because you're a freak, you're gonna do it.
Exactly.
But like, I would say like roster spot guys, glue guys, locker room guys. Those guys have been training their ass off their entire life. The freaks are gonna freak. You know what I mean? You're Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
You're always gonna. You were Jerome Bettis whether you trained or not. You were Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
If you're just saying you just drop him in with exactly your skill set, your athleticism, right? For sure.
I'll even say like if you drop Luke Kuechly into like Dick Butkus's area, he would play both ways and probably be the most prolific quarterback and offensive mind anyone's ever, because he's coming up with stuff. They're like, we never even thought about that. He's like, oh yeah, check this out.
He can play offense. They're handing the ball probably.
Right. Well, but I'm even just saying, like, I'm just saying his knowledge base of like, you guys had never thought of a post corner. Yeah. You know, like that route didn't exist. Sure. It probably, someone's going to check that, but you get what I'm saying. You get it. For sure. You get it. All right. My last one. This is not a take. This is a question. Do you guys have words that your family only says? Like if other people were to hear it, they're like, what is that? I have some examples for you. Okay. I'll go first. You guys can rack your brains. Yeah. It's interesting because I might not know, you might not know that other people don't say it. Yeah. Right. So I'll say like, because there's some that he say here. My family says them now, but they're like New Mexican things. Like if you went back to Albuquerque, everyone would say it, but just no one says regional. It. Right. But I'm saying there's a few that no one's like. We call a shower a shashu. Like get in the shashu. If you say shashu at my house, Mac lights up and he's like, shashu, shashu, and I don't know where it came. Like my dad called it shashu at some point. Probably when we were kids. Yeah. And we had kids and I started calling it. It's easier for him to say. Yeah. But yeah, shashu is one of them. What else I got here? Oh, saggy baggies. Get on your saggy baggies. What do you think a saggy baggie is? Get your saggy baggies on. If I said, hey boys, let's get our saggy baggies on and go on the couch and chill. Or let's go on. Like, what would you do? Okay, so like
pajamas,
sweats.
Pajamas. Like it's like you went out on a date, or you got home from work or whatever. It's like I want to do is like, hold on, let me get my saggy baggies on real quick.
Yeah. My first thought of hearing that was like a really like full diaper.
See, I would have without the context that you gave. There's 0% chance I'm getting that. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah. So they're like, these are kind of like inside jokes, essentially, but they're not jokes, but they're inside sayings.
Yeah, sayings. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, do you have any of those? The last one I could think of off the top of my that I thought about was lalu, which is love you, because one of our kids, I think it was like Murph or something, couldn't say love you, and he's like lalu, and so now like I'll be leaving and telling Teresa, I'll be like, all right, babe, lalu, and she's like, all right, lalu. Like we don't say it all the time because we're not.
No, I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, that's adorable. I like it.
It's cute.
I get it.
Do you guys have any of those?
I don't think so.
I don't, man. I had to think about that one. My dad always, I remember one of these things, it's a very similar situation. In class, we were talking about these sayings, like these like sayings like that. And people were like raising their hands and saying, oh, this is a saying. Like, hold your horses, right? That's like a common one. Well, I said one that my dad always says. He always says, hold your pants on. And I raised my hand and I said, hold your pants on. Like, this is one. Yeah. And it is. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing as hold your horses, right? So I was correct in that this is a saying that means that. But my teacher's like, what?
No one says that.
What is that? I'm like, oh, okay. I guess, it's one of those things.
Did you ask your dad when you went home, like, why do you say that?
I don't think so. I don't think I did, but it sticks with me to this day because she looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, dude. She's like, you're going to need to go see the school counselor. Yeah.
My dad did that to me. I used to call a hoodie a sweat sack. My pops would call it a sweat, like growing up. He's like, hey, go get your sweat sack. So I remember like my first football team, Pee Wee football team. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, you guys got your sweat sacks on? And everyone's like, what? And just roasted me. And I came home like, I'll never say the word sweat sack again.
One that I learned from you, and I don't know if it's like a major thing. I only heard it from you, I believe, is calling practice jerseys pennies.
Pennies.
No, is that more common?
I thought it was a common.
We said that in intramurals. Like we had pennies, and we called them pennies.
Yeah, I've never heard that until.
So you just call them practice jerseys?
Yeah.
Jerseys,
what if you had your practice jersey on and you had to get the thing that goes over to decide who's offense or on what team?
I don't know.
Because like that to me is like you're wearing your practice jersey. Yeah. Now put the penny on.
I mean, it makes sense to have a name for it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we ever had a name for it.
I never. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was on the debate team, we didn't really have that problem.
Yeah. It's not really a basketball.
You were a master debater, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was in the theater.
That's twice. Yeah. That's twice now. Keep it track, dude.
Call back.
Blake knows. Hey, Blake knows.
That's the inside joke. That's the biggest inside joke for the cast.
That's a good one.
He's called out to
Blake. Yeah. Hey, when we're Joe Rogan status, you're like, who is Blake?
Yeah. So anybody's like who's been an OG, we're just gonna call him Blake.
OG,
it's like a whole
that's our Blakes.
Yeah.
That's what we call our fans every day. That's our Blakes.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Welcome, Blakes.
Like the Swifties
Yes.
or
I like
the
that a
Navy
lot.
for Rihanna.
I like that a lot.
That's all I got.
I don't
That's all
have
got.
any off the top of my head. There probably are. That's the only one I can think of. Is the one I just told you about, the hold your pants.
It's a fun
on.
one, dude. But because like I'll tell you something from New Mexico that like when I say get out of the car, are you guys like get down? Who's gonna get down when we pull up in the parking lot? Like, who? And my kids are like, Dad, can I get down with you? Because I say get down,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a New Mexican thing, I think,
Yeah.
because it's a literal translation of a Spanish word. Like to get out of the car is you just. The Wikipedia version of that is to get down or whatever.
Gotcha.
Or I say like put gas. Like I got to go put gas.
Yeah. Okay.
And I might remember my wife was learning these. She's like, "Why do you say this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Everyone says these. Yeah, everyone just says these things.
Yeah.
that makes sense because
And
like
then when you're getting gas, you're like, keep the car on.
yeah.
That's right, dude.
Spanish translation
Yeah.
also.
That's funny.
Channel changer. That's one that blew. My buddy got married. His wife, like we visited him in Chicago, and she was like, "What do you call this thing?" And
Yeah,
she was holding up a
good
TV
one.
remote. And I was like, "That's a channel changer." And you just hear him like, "I told you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "It's a remote. It does more than change channels." I'm like, "I don't."
Yeah.
But I never thought about it.
Let
But
me
it's
introduce another one, the flicker. You ever heard that one?
no.
No.
Yeah.
That's for the remote again.
Yeah, my family didn't call it that, but that is one I've heard from other people.
A flicker.
A flicker, yeah.
Or like up out east, they call like shopping carts buggies.
Okay. Yeah.
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 You know, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I changed my my Siri on my phone to like a British accent. So like when we like do the navigation,
That's a right turn area, isn't it?
yeah, she's like turn right to the car park. I'm like the car park.
car park.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
like the parking
In it.
lot.
Yeah.
And my dad called. I remember like the goldfish, right?
Yeah.
I would say I called them fish crackers. And I'm like, why do I? And one of these days, Chelsea called me on that. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, fish crackers. She's like, that's not what they're called. I'm like, you're right.
But your pop said
That's
it?
not what they're called. And I went to my parents' house. I don't know when it was. Sometimes, and I heard my dad said, "You got some fish crackers there?" I'm like, that's where it's from.
Got him.
Yeah. Also a British thing. Hey,
Fish
John,
crackers?
Get some fish crackers.
That's
Try again?
Terrible.
Yeah,
Try again?
Okay.
it's all right.
No. Try again.
Get
Take
some
two.
Hey, let me get some fish crackers.
Is
No.
this like a Boston guy from England? Hello, mate.
It's a guy from Boston trying to do it in a British accent.
Hey, you're a Jono, innit?
I'll say I
Fair
love
enough.
the British
That's
accent.
hooligans.
Yeah, the
There
boy,
you go.
Green Street.
Yeah, I love the British accent. It makes everything sound smarter. But I like future reference one of my shows. I love the like hood British
Like the
accents.
cockneyed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is it called?
Cockneyed.
2 + 2 is 4. Quick math.
Yes. Yes.
It was like, cause like it's like
Is that Ali? What's his name?
I don't know. I don't care.
it's like the same thing with like English, right? There's like like American English,
Yeah.
like proper
Yeah.
way more slang, same thing. So
Yeah.
like water, we say water with a D, Americans water, but they
Water.
like more perfect, like upper class British would be like water.
Give me some
and then
water.
like
Water.
See, and then
Mother.
lower class would be like
Water.
that. The T's
Water.
gone, right? Water. So like it's just
are
the
you
same.
spitting
idea.
facts right now? Is that for real how it works?
I mean,
Yeah.
different parts of the country, the parts of the country have different accents that are slightly different.
Well, obvious. I mean, yeah, all
But
the accents.
And yeah, I would say like more like if you're like the king or the queen of England, they're gonna say water, like with a T. And then like more like a lower class is gonna be like water.
Water.
And it even
Those are
sounds
my does,
to
dude. Give me
me.
a lower
To me, it
class
even
dudes.
sounds like more slang, right? It just sounds like a more of a slang way to pronounce that word.
Yeah. Aussies, dude. I like hanging out. I played some rugby with some Aussies. Those dudes, like the things they say and how they say it,
Yeah,
wild, bro.
but that's
Yeah.
that's like another variation of their English accent, right?
Right,
It's the
'cause
English colony.
They're all
penal
prisoners,
colony,
right? Yeah.
mhm. So
Yeah, it's wild the English language, how vastly different it can be all across the globe.
Yeah.
And the expressions, the sayings, the way they pronounce stuff.
sure.
It's the same language.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because like South African English
yep.
is wild too.
What's up, bro? Hey, bro.
Hey my bruh. Or what do they call
Nope,
it?
nope, that's
bruv?
not it.
Bruv.
Hello,
Bruv.
bruv. That's like an English thing. That's
Yeah.
I played some guys with
brew.
a kid.
Is it? Yeah.
Hey, brew is South African.
Yeah.
Hey, brew.
Hey my brew. But I also
Try again one more time.
also love.
We should have an episode where he just has to. We just gotta try out. Give him
Accents.
phrases and he has to say it in
I gotta
different.
read them. I gotta read them.
Yeah.
I also love the Brits. Instead of saying like dude or whatever, I love like how they're like mate.
Mate, I do like that.
Hey,
as
mate.
well.
Or It sounds way better than dude.
Dude,
Like,
I still say cheers. I mean, I say it sometimes in our text messages on emails, like in work, like I leave like, hey, cheers, boys. And it's because I played rugby with some dudes from the UK or whatever in Ireland, and that's like, hey, cheers, like see you later, or like what's up, like hey, cheers. Yeah. I love it, bro. Like, hey, cheers, boys.
Yeah, burger.
I like that. I like that.
Hello, love.
Hey, there you go. That's pretty good.
There you go.
Hello,
There it
love.
Yeah,
There it is.
I gotta ease into
There
it,
it
man,
is.
to get warmed up.
This week's movie is Top Gun Maverick,
Yes,
which is the second installment that came out relatively recently to the 1980s original.
Dude, Scientology is treating Tom Cruise right. He
He's looking
looks
good.
good.
Looking good.
yeah, he's
Like,
almost my dad's age.
Dude, compare him to a freaking Val Kilmer in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, then the AI his voice. Maybe you had this. Maybe you had this in your stats.
I did.
I'll let you go for it. I'll let you get your
Yeah,
synopsis.
hey, pop off, King.
Hey, so as Dave alluded, Top Gun Maverick, sequel to the original movie Top Gun, came out in 1986.
Okay.
This is 36 years later in our time. In the movie time, it was 30 years later.
Okay.
So directed by Joseph Kosinski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kosinski.
Kosinski. Yeah. Also director of Tron Legacy, Oblivion, and the upcoming F1 with Brad Pitt. Have you guys seen the commercials for those?
Those are the two movies you mentioned.
Formula
Who
movie?
cares?
Looks
F1.
awesome.
F1 looks dope.
It looks
Is that a
sick.
Formula One movie or what is that about?
Yeah. Yes.
It's pronounced Formula.
Italian.
Yeah, it looks awesome. But 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Maverick does.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes.
1.5 billion globally in the box office.
Yeah.
It was Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie ever,
Oh yeah.
which is saying a lot because Tom Cruise is a movie star of all movie
It
stars.
was a sick sequel, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just the nostalgia
I was gonna say-
alone is going to get you $1 billion.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have, the movie could be terrible. It's going to earn that much money.
Dude,
in the box
Mike
office.
McEntee in our first house got back when they would do like built-in surround sound, like you wire it into your house. And the first movie he made us watch, well, I had seen Top Gun before, but he was like, we have to watch Top Gun.
Yeah.
And the plane like, he's like, you hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he just loved watching.
Yeah.
He would make people watch Top Gun
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he could show them his
Show off the
speaker
speakers.
system. Yeah.
I'm glad
That's
you
fair.
mentioned that. So this one won the Academy Award for Best Sound.
Okay.
And normally when you get the Academy Award for like Best Editing or whatever, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But Best Sound in this, like,
Yeah.
you're like, all right,
Deserved.
like, who else was competing against that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, they just ran away from
It's
it.
so American though, because it's just like, was stuff going really fast and was it really loud? Yeah, we
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
Yes. And what even made like the folklore of this movie even better was like, it started filming in 2018. It was supposed to release during COVID, like the year of COVID 2020, but it actually sent it back.
I
It set
couldn't
it back.
remember that.
So it set it back like almost 2 years. It's like 700 and something days
Wow.
that it set back to release. And Tom Cruise was adamant about, we're
Not
not going to release
sure.
this
Streaming.
There's no way. But
Was this the movie he was like paying people out of his own pocket to be on lot and work?
yeah, and he also, I think this was the one where he went off on somebody too.
Yeah.
But it was because like, hey, like if like we have one outbreak or whatever, like this film is done. Like, but or maybe that was Mission Impossible. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
I don't like
there's-
Tom Cruise as a human, but he looks good and he's a good actor.
I do, man. He's awesome.
As an
You like
actor,
him as a human?
Yeah, I think I do.
I don't really know about him as a human. I just
I
know
think he's
as
done
an,
with the Scientology stuff.
as an
so.
actor, he's he's great.
He's-
He's an
yeah,
all timer.
he's super salty.
Like somebody
Yeah.
said, somebody said that earlier. He's a movie star of movie stars.
Yeah,
That's true. I don't.
Yeah, that
There's
is
very few people who are more
yeah.
famous in
So-
as far as stars.
So that's it for the stats and stuff. The rest are just my opinions. But I would say that
Let's
like
get those opinions out here, dude.
I love this movie. It's one of those movies that like sequels come out and you're like, oh, okay, you'll watch it, whatever. Far exceeded my expectations. Like second to none. Opening scene. The opening scene of this movie doesn't get you jack, dude. I mean, they're taking off on the aircraft carrier. Like, dudes are doing fist bumps and stuff, and like they're like. Dude, I'm like getting in my bed, with
Yeah.
like Cheeto dust on my chest, like let's go.
Let's go. Get high.
America.
Yeah,
America.
loving it.
I read that they AI generated Val Kilmer's voice.
Yes,
He has cancer in his throat, or
he's passed.
Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
just-
he's passed.
Please
since
show
then.
some respect.
I didn't realize that.
Honor him, please.
But yeah, they didn't have he didn't talk in that movie. He types most of it out when he's talking, and then he does say a few words, but not a whole bunch.
It's so cool how they put his character in while he was undergoing illnesses or whatever. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was
wove
great.
it in. Which I'm so glad he was able to be a part of it.
It did make it much better.
So that being said, you hadn't seen the first one at all, right? Or
I did watch the first one.
You did?
Yep, I did. I had to. I was like, it was free. I have on Amazon
It makes
Prime,
it so much better.
On Amazon Prime, I searched Maverick.
Yeah,
Maverick was free for me, and so was the original one. I was like, okay, it's free. I'm gonna watch it
because
it's not that long either. It's only like an hour.
Plus now you got all the callbacks.
I was wondering about that because I was like, man, like they made it to where you could watch it without it.
Yeah,
they weave in like you pick up like the dad and and all that. But I was like, man, I wonder if Dave's going to be like, all right, why does he care about this guy so much?
Yeah, I think they did. I agree with you. They did a good job of making it so you didn't have to watch it, but watching the first one definitely makes it better.
So this is the second movie that you've seen before you were born now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Godfather, The Predator.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a couple. Yeah.
So what do you think of the first one?
The first one, dude. The more, you know what? The more and more I watch these movies from the 80s.
Yeah.
The more and more I'm with you, Matt.
It's tough.
These old movies, they do not hold up to me. Watching it for the first time.
Acting style or what?
That's the big. It's not the movie itself. It is the style.
Yeah.
I just do not like. It is the music. Talked about the music before. The music of the 80s, like it's just like it's
unnecessary.
It's not necessary. It takes you out of it. To me, it's like, and it's like, okay, dude, like I don't need any of that music. The acting is corny. It's cheesy, and again, it's not their fault. That was the style. That's perfectly fine. It just for me, it takes me out of them. It takes me out of it. And these older movies just don't do it for me. And I think the only reason they do it for other people is because of exactly what you said. Because it's nostalgia, because you watched it at a certain time when that style was in, and so that doesn't bother you now.
But I also think even if it was before when you were born, so like let's take like what is it, like the White Christmas or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Those are also nostalgic to people because people will come in and probably mention those or whatever because their grandma or something, they watched them with their grandma when they were a kid or whatever, right? Yep. But I still think that if you go back and watch anything as an adult that you'd never seen as a kid, it's really hard for you to think that movie's good. Like
it's an
all-time great. Like it's hard. It's hard. I don't think that's possible. And I know you took the L on that take a lot, but
I don't know if anybody would say it's an all-time great. Coming into it, if I showed you a movie Cold from the 1985, whatever, never seen it, never heard about it. Here's a movie for the first time. I don't think there's anybody that's gonna be like, that's the best movie ever. I think it's tough. I think it's very tough to get over some of these hurdles, these stylistic hurdles and changes.
Yeah.
What is the best movie ever?
Most people say it's The Godfather.
Top Gun Maverick.
Standard.
Most people say it's The Godfather.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I love that answer, but I didn't.
I think
because that's also very subjective.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying like it's a popularity contest, obviously. But if you polled 1,000 people, I think you'd get the most answer you'd get would be The Godfather.
I'll tell you what. If you polled a bunch of all the rappers on MTV Cribs back in the day, it was between The Godfather and Scarface.
Yeah,
they used to like point out like got The Godfather right, and they're like a stack of DVDs. I used to love that.
I watched Scarface when I was on that kick. I watched all those movies. That was on your list. I watched it because I know it's like Say Hello to My Little Friend.
Yeah.
That movie sucks. I hate that movie. I hate it. No, it's terrible.
I like it, but it's a nostalgia piece.
It's so like his acting is goofy. Like it's over the top. His accent is annoying.
Tony Montana.
He's a terrible human being. Like there's no good guys. Lord. It's just like it's awful. That movie stinks. It's not good. But anyway, I digress. The original Top Gun. One of the things that pointed out to me is they are always sweaty.
Yes.
Why are they sweating?
I think everybody in the 80s in any type of
hella hot in the cockpit, bro.
No, I'm glad you brought this up.
But I'm like, dude, they're sweating at all times, and it's like visibly dripping on their face.
They're in San Diego.
Yes. No, but if you go back,
I don't know, man.
Any 80s movie that was about anything military related, they're all sweating. There's like what is it? The Hunt for October.
Red October.
Red October. They're in the submarine. They're sweating their asses off. I'm like, that thing's nuclear powered, man. You guys should have AC in there. You're fine.
In the tube, brother.
Yeah. It's dramatic.
I bet it was hot. I'm not saying that, but like,
but you're so
I think it was over the top. I think they like before they clicked the clicker and took the take, they came in with a spray bottle and just like freaking sprayed every single person in the face.
They brought in a sweat artist.
It's funny that bugs you. I never.
No, it didn't bug me. Somebody definitely noticed it though.
You
I was
noticed
like, whoa.
I watched that movie probably
sweating like
5 years ago with my wife, and she brought up two things.
Yeah.
The sweating,
so
and then
sweaty.
the very weird scene with, the intimate scene with him and I don't remember her name.
Oh,
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm right. I didn't watch that. I fast forwarded it, but
Okay.
But I do know that like they're also like in whitey tighties, multiple scenes, like walking around in whitey tighties, like in the locker room, like talking to each other.
I never noticed that.
I just think that's funny. Like some of these, again, that's a stylistic thing. There's no 0% chance a serious movie like this is a serious movie. It's not a comedy. Serious movie in 2025 has a scene where like there's like 8 guys in whitey tighties like talking.
Because like boxers and stuff weren't a thing back then.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, that's very true.
So not to get off track, but I'm glad you gave us that was a review within a review.
Oh yeah.
But you did say that did help you
Mm-hmm.
in this one,
especially the fact that Goose dies.
Yeah.
Like, that's like obviously that's a major thing, right? Like his best friend dies in a training accident, right? Not in combat, like a training accident.
Yeah.
Like like seeing that happen and seeing that relationship and seeing him like work with the kid, right?
Yeah.
They sing songs with his son, Goose's son,
Shapes
who is
his
Rooster, right?
shapes his
Obviously in the new
character.
one. And like that whole thing where how he he doesn't want him to fly because he didn't want him to die like his dad did. He felt responsible. His mom
He made
asked
a
him.
promise.
Yes. Yeah. So
which also when I was thinking about that, like Maverick's a stand-up guy because he's like he's already resents me. Why I resent his mom? Because in your head you're just like tell him
the truth.
Your mom told me.
It's like no, I'm not gonna tarnish his memory of her. Mm-hmm.
I had another observation in this movie. So again, back to the opening scene, Highway to the Danger Zone. Glad they brought that back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna propose a question to you guys. Better movie all time hype song, Highway to the Danger Zone or Eye of the Tiger? You can only choose one. One's got to leave forever.
Danger Zone.
Dave? Eye of the Tiger?
I mean, I haven't seen Rocky.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger
I'm just saying the song.
I like Eye of the Tiger.
I don't.
I like Eye of the Tiger.
You're Eye of the Tiger guy?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Give me, dude. Give me.
I'm a Highway to the Danger Zone guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
give
that's
it to
fair.
me
No,
all day,
it's
every day.
good in the context of the movie. It's really good.
yeah.
The opening scene. So this movie, I'm going to spoil my rating. I gave it an 8. I really enjoyed Top Gun Maverick.
Of course you did. It's Hayner's
I
movie.
really enjoyed this movie.
But an 8 though, man. I feel like that's soft.
Yes.
I feel
Hey,
like
do you
that's
have
soft.
your list? Do you have your list?
So at the end, I'm going to go over every single one.
But also, you need to put you're 8.0.
8.0. 8. Yes. So, the whole thing was just it was fun. It was a fun movie. Like you can dissect it a little bit here and there, but like I thought it was a good movie.
Don't dissect it.
Again,
It's perfect.
Like for example, the him going Mach 10 or whatever at the beginning
Yeah. Awesome.
and destroying the aircraft.
yeah.
That's like I don't understand. We're like, yeah, you did it. That cost like billions, probably millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And he just destroyed it because he wanted to go a little fast.
Yeah.
Like that's not like, oh well, we're gonna ship you off to Top Gun. We're like, no, you're gone. You're done forever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
this is millions of dollars.
You're right. You are like dissecting the nitty gritty.
Don't do
of
it. Don't do it, Dave.
Nitty gritty. This is like they built this ship, this plane that can go Mach 10, and he destroyed it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Well,
but
there's
he was in
more
the
of 'em.
process of already defying orders. So
They
what
have
the
to
hell,
show you.
right?
They're painting the picture of. They're
Yeah.
painting the
Yeah.
character picture.
And he's a Maverick. I mean,
if-
it's on the nose. But
If I'm going down with you on this path,
Right on the nose.
if I'm going down with you on this path, it did flicker in my mind where I'm like, if this thing disintegrated at Mach 10, wouldn't he just be confetti?
I say, how
Yeah.
do you
Popping
eject?
out
can
of
you
that.
eject at Mach 10? Yeah.
Is he confetti coming
know.
out of that?
I
But I will not
how
go
the
down
kid's
with.
like where he's like, where
Yes.
am I? The kid's like, Earth.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yes.
That is great.
But I will not go down with you on that path.
Yeah.
So I will not
Yeah.
ask that
But
question.
again,
I
like,
refuse.
but
No, I
but
won't.
it's one of the things that's crossed my mind. But I in the great scheme of this movie, like, who cares? It does not make the
right.
movie worse.
Yeah, you should not care about
It
it.
does not make the movie worse at all. But it's just something that like I'm watching the movie, I'm like, okay, well, that's fine.
You know what I want to try because of this movie is a dogfight football.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that same. I'm glad they
Offense
explained
versus
that. I'm like,
offense,
what
dude.
is this?
I would love to like get 20 guys together and be like, hey, let's try this thing out.
Mhm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
When the first time I watched it and they said it, I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm like, why would? And then like the second, third, the fourth, as I'm watching, I'm like, that actually might be kind of fun, man, because you're like you're multitasking, right?
For sure.
You're literally a corner and a receiver at the same time.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
But that's a throwback to the beach volleyball scene in the original, which is again super corny, super 80s.
Hey, how many? Let's call out all the callbacks. All right, so that's one.
If I can remember. I mean, the Danger Zone, same exact song. Yeah, right? They obviously played that again.
Playing the piano. Don't look at your notes, bro. Let's just try to go off the dome.
I don't have that.
They played. He flew that plane. Remember, they commandeered that. They like stole that plane. That was an old plane. Wasn't that the same plane?
Yeah.
There's a plane, the model he flew back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one?
I thought it was F-14. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was an old.
They flew F-14, the original.
I didn't catch that one.
Him on the motorcycle flying next to the plane.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know,
at the end,
the original motorcycle. So I mean, that one they were like, "Hey, we're right on. We're just gonna tell you right
exactly.
now."
Yeah, not even exactly. Again, on the nose.
Yes.
Another on the nose one is after they complete the mission. This time it's Rooster and Hangman. Get a little high five.
And high five at the end. Everybody's surrounding him.
For sure.
You can be my wingman,
dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I wanted to bring up how sick was his like bachelor pad airplane hangar thing that he was living in
at the very, very beginning.
I was so envious of that, man, because like in an alternate universe, if I'm not a married man and I don't have kids, I want to live in that.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
It
was just like an abandoned aircraft hangar. He had a P-51 Mustang in there. He had like an Airstream that he lived on inside of there. Just a gang of motorcycles, and he's just in there. He's got tools. He's turning wrenches. It's got like old leather couches around there. Like, how dope?
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
Didn't they get caught in the jet stream? Didn't Phoenix and Bob get caught in the jet stream when they crashed?
No,
what happened with them when they
birds.
Crashed? It was birds.
They hit birds.
Okay.
They took out their engine.
Yeah,
and then they had to go back.
Okay, because I thought they
strike.
Somebody got hit in the jet stream. Somebody got
bird
caught.
Strike.
Got hit with like
I'm thinking of during training.
Yeah.
It was a bird strike.
Yeah. Okay, I thought they did that too because that's what got Goose was that they got caught up in the jet stream of Iceman.
Yeah, they washed.
They washed. They got
jet
washed
and they flat spinned.
Which is I don't know what the physics of that or why that happens, but
yeah,
I thought that they called that back. Maybe
it's also fun watching like Top Gun or this movie with my dad because he's like, oh yeah, so this is what like he starts explaining to you all this stuff.
Yeah,
it did fascinate me. Like I looked up like what other movies are about fighter pilots because like that was fascinating to me. Like that was very interesting. The dogfighting and the
it always plays. I was watching it with my 1-year-old, and then like a couple of the kids came in.
Yeah.
And they're just like, watch, like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, these planes are fighting each other. And there's like jaws on the floor. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. I really liked also, there was no politics. There was none.
Yes.
It was completely apolitical, right? It was a foreign adversary, no names, right? There's not talking about the president. There's no talking about any wars or anything like that. Here's a mission. Indescript target, just an enemy. You know what I mean? And like, I love how they planned it out. They had the Tomahawk missiles, like that whole like strategic like plan they made is just awesome to me.
Yeah, it made sense. It wasn't like that's not possible.
It made sense enough for this movie again, right?
Like follow it,
and then it was just great. I loved it. I loved how they had to get in there. There's the only way they could do it. They had to blow up the runway first, but they couldn't blow up all the planes. The planes are still going to be out. The ones that are in the air, this is how they contend with.
Right.
Like all these things. So like it was made it almost impossible.
Dude, I think my favorite scene is when he gets Scott Hamm's character kicks him out of the Navy, like he grounds him forever, and then he steals a plane and runs as he's telling. He's basically Scott Hamm saying like, "Look, this is a kamikaze mission, and it's always been a kamikaze mission, and Maverick's insane for trying to make it not."
Yes.
So, and all these guys are like, dude, we're sitting ducks. We're not coming back from this. And then he runs the course. Lasers it all. I was like, dude, that's
best
gangster. I thought
that's got to be the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
That was
for
good.
sure.
That was good. And he does it without the laser, right? Because the plan
he's
was
G'ing out. He's G'ing out, and he's still guiding the missile.
I mean, best of the best,
dude.
Yeah. The other thing that a lot of the reviews and everything I watched, like not to get political about it, but they talked about people were really worried when this movie came out. They're like, oh, it's just going to be like modern day Hollywood. It's going to like ruin it. But did not ruin. Like it was the same. This is a very ultra competitive environment of the best of the best.
Yes.
We're not going to bog you down with modern day ideals that get lost in translation. The audience is like, no, we're going to give the audience like this. I would say that in general, the movie across the board is authenticity, right?
Yep.
Authenticity of you're with these. I'm not a Navy pilot, but I can imagine like that's what they're like, right? These are the types of people there. This is the type of stuff that they're working on. This is like, there is a lot of tension. There's a lot of, competition going on.
I also loved how like nothing was CGI'd.
Yes.
I was at one point, I got lost in figuring out how are they shooting these guys, like filming, because he's flying the plane. Any of the pilots, they're flying, and you can see like they're doing the, like when you're like strangling yourself with that force blood to your head for the G's, and they're actually doing it. But I'm like, well, they're not going to let these guys fly the plane. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's got to be they have to be in the back seat just pretending to fly.
Yeah.
And then they look forward and the guys got the same helmet on.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think back, was there, other than when they're just like cruising, like, flying and talking to after a practice round, where you see both the pilots in the same plane?
Yeah.
When they were doing the maneuvers and stuff, I'm pretty sure it was you only ever saw one guy. You only saw the front seat. You didn't see the back
Probably.
seat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and look because I was thinking like if that's the case, then I think like, okay, that's probably how they did that.
But they put cameras in the cockpits, and they were even special. They were even special like IMAX cameras or whatever because it was filmed.
No, I know that. I'm just trying to figure out how they got these actors. To like essentially they were flying the plane.
I'm sure you're right on that. How they did it or whatever. But they went.
But still, it's so gangster, dude. That they. Like, because they had to learn how to do that. Like, that's a technique on how to, Yeah,
they went through pilot training, and they even did like survival training and stuff like that for like if a pilot goes down on like how what you're supposed to. They went through all the stuff. Like they didn't cut corners.
They're basically Top Gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, because I remember that scene you're talking about where he goes and tilts a plane because like that guy says, "Well, all you've managed to do is explain how it's impossible this is." Right. He says that to Tom Cruise.
Yes.
He's like, oh, okay, well,
checkmate.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you how possible.
And then his girlfriend, his girlfriend is like, well, wouldn't you fight for him?
Yes. The other callback that we forgot about, one of the most famous ones,
climbing out of her window in front of her teenage. It didn't help his image really. I don't think.
That's kind of funny.
No, you got to do that. No, another callback when he went over Rooster's plane.
Oh, yes.
Going inverted.
Yeah, he took that picture in the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, there's like a whole like T-shirts and all this stuff that talk about. I didn't see him. Oh yeah, because he was inverted.
I want to know what the real pilots, like when they're explaining, like, hey, so you guys are gonna be flying like this, and then we want Maverick to come up and shoot through them.
Yeah.
Like, are these guys like the Blue Angel dudes? Like, I would like to know if they're talking about it, and these pilots are like, that's impossible.
I ran out of time.
Or if they're like, oh, we do. We work on that. Like, we're good, bro.
I ran out of time, and I do love watching these videos. But there is a video. It's like 18 minutes or something, where like a real naval pilot reviews the movie.
Yes, I love those. Those
movies. Are awesome. When any of those military dudes review the movies, because I'm always just like, yeah, dude, that tank probably could go over that ditch and shoot that or whatever. And then they got the guy that's like, no, we would never go through that.
It's like maybe it could possibly, but we definitely wouldn't. There's no way we would do that. Yeah.
I love that. One of the things I learned from watching those actually was like one of the Rambos, because I got on this stint where I watched every single Rambo.
Yeah.
And I was thinking he's like the third one or second one or something. He's in like Pakistan or something. But these two helicopters get into a helicopter like aerial fight, and I'm like, yeah, dude, they're flying around, they're trying to shoot each other.
That checks out.
And this lady on there who was a retired like Army helicopter pilot, she's like, no, two helicopters would never fight in the air ever. And I'm like, what?
They're not maneuverable.
I'm like, why not? I'm like, why wouldn't they? She's like, no, that would never happen. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. She's like 25-year, retired pilot.
But I also feel like if you're faced with that situation, you'd let it rip.
Yeah. But she's like, no, that's like never happened, and you would never do that as a pilot. And I'm like, dang, okay, all right.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was gonna happen, like, because going into that final battle, I was like, Tom Cruise could die here.
Yes.
That like they could absolutely in this movie in with a good way of him dying.
Right.
Like sacrificing himself. Like, so when he went down, like maybe he's dead. Like I was very much like that could be it. That could be into it. I did think it was a little anticlimactic though for him to be actually dead. Like, cause he got hit and went down. Usually when a main character dies in a movie, it's not like a throwaway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he died like an extra would die.
I was with you.
know what I mean?
The first time I watched it,
main character.
I was waiting for him to die. Like that entire scene, I'm like, he's gonna die.
But then
for
the
sure.
helicopter swivels around, is like about to shoot him, and then Rooster comes in and like blows up the helicopter. And then Rooster goes down, and then I mean, it was good. It was good. I loved it. And I loved how like they were outclassed at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're in the F-14.
What?
And they were in
the guy like does that
he does
thing?
like kind of crazy maneuvers. Like that's not possible with what we have.
Yeah.
So
I give it an 8.98. I love this movie too.
I give it a 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's your favorite movie ever?
10 out of 10.
It's got to be. I mean,
It wasn't on your list, was it?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
but
my
recency
list.
bias. We've already established
Yeah,
recency
that's
bias.
right.
Yeah, but no, I honestly truly believe the statement that it's just the perfect movie.
It's a good movie. It's a great movie.
a perfect movie.
Again,
It's got everything.
Oh, I have a fun fact for you, Mr. Behind the Scenes. When they, I was listening to a podcast, when they were, what's Rooster's real name?
So careful with that. One guy commented one time like, "Oh, a guy on a podcast talking about another podcast." Ooh.
I don't care.
I know.
I'm a human. I listen to other people's stuff.
Yeah.
I told him to go back in his mom's basement.
Yeah. What is Rooster's real name? In like
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
Oh, the act.
Yeah, he was talking and about how everyone was extremely that like the when they were shooting the dogfight football scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody had like not ate for like a couple of days.
Yeah.
And they were like super dehydrated, so they could just be like hella ripped.
Yeah.
They did the scene and they cut, and everyone ran over to the buffet table, pounding
Scarfing.
water,
Yeah.
eating food, whatever.
Yeah.
And they come back. I guess like movies are just a bear to be on. They come
Yeah.
back like so then now they're all chilling.
Yeah.
They come back a couple hours later, like, hey, we just looked at the
Reshot,
edit.
yeah.
We need to reshot this and that. And they're like, they were already agitated because they had like were on the worst, and now they're pissed because they're gonna look fatter.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
like
it's funny.
in my head, I'm just like, that's hilarious.
I love those stories because it just shows you like, all right, that's not real.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like
very
these
true.
people look incredible,
Very
but
true.
they don't look like
Yeah.
that every day. Like,
Yeah, they were like big, like bodybuilder stage competition ready status.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
everything's
For
ripped.
sure.
And
No
ready to
water
go.
in their body.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did a great job making him look like Rooster. Making Rooster look like Goose.
Yes.
Like when he walked in, I was like, what? Like he looks like a
See?
spitting
I
image.
want to know how many people
Wow.
they tried to cast, or if like whoever the director was like, I need him to be Rooster because I don't see it any other way.
So another fun fact for you, Mr. Behind the Scenes.
I'm not behind the scenes. You're behind the scenes.
No, so the guy who played Hangman,
Yeah.
he would originally.
I like that guy as an actor in several
Oh
things
yeah,
too.
he's awesome. Glenn Powell.
He's a little cutie.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave? Cute? No.
He's a good looking guy.
Okay.
No doubt.
Cutie
There
though.
we go.
Cutie?
Yeah.
Is he a cutie patootie?
No, he is a good looking guy. But he initially auditioned for the role of Rooster, right? And
Okay.
that's like in the hierarchy that that's one of the main
Right.
characters
I
or
want to
whatever.
be that guy.
Right. And so he went in for it, and he was kind of told
He went in
was-
for Maverick.
yeah, I will be Maverick. And was kind of like led to believe that was going to be the role for him or whatever. Well, then he ended up not getting it. Miles Teller got it. And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm done with this show or whatever. And
Yeah.
so but they called him back in, like Tom Cruise and the producer, because he was ready to walk away from it. And they're like, no, dude, like, we want you to still be in the movie. We want you to be in this role. It's a lesser role. But they were like, the boat rises with all tides. Like, this movie will do things for your career, even if you're a side character.
What
or
did
whatever.
it do for it?
For him?
Yeah.
Oh, like he had a major year. Like when that like kind of, I don't know if it propelled, but he had like a year or two run where he was in like some bangers.
Like
And
what? I'm trying to think.
He was in that, and then he was in the what's it called? The like romantic comedy one. He was in Twisters. The new
Twister.
Twisters.
Yeah. Twisters.
There's probably some
Yeah,
more I'm
he
not
was
thinking
yeah.
about. He was also in another. He was in another pilot movie about the Korean War.
And then his agent's like,
This was
hey,
really
be
good.
careful, you're gonna start typecasting yourself.
Yeah,
Well, one thing that I've learned about the show business, because my daughter does a lot of this theater thing, is it's not, you might be amazing, but you're not the fit that the director, you're not the look that the
I remember
director
this.
wants.
We talked about this with Matilda.
Yeah, exactly. So like, for example, you guys just said how you were talking about how handsome this guy was, right? Like Goose was not super handsome, you know?
Watch your mouth. Don't speak ill
Come
of
on.
the dead.
Yeah,
Come on.
He was
Don't speak ill of the dead.
ruggedly handsome.
Right? But then like this other guy had a more look like, I think, look more like the guy.
Of course.
Right? So like, and then, but the character they cast him in was like the jock, the head of the class.
Yeah.
You know, like he has a look for this character.
He was like literally like the reincarnation of Iceman.
Exactly.
And played the role.
That's
amazingly.
exactly what they wanted. They wanted
Yeah.
Iceman. That's exactly what they wanted for
Yeah.
Hangman. And it's you know, that's so that he's like, he maybe was even better as far as acting chops for this role, but that's not what the only thing they're looking for when they're casting. Right? It's not just because you're a great actor. They want a specific look, like your voice, all of these different things. And it could be, you're great. Like literally you could not have done it any better than you did it. Like your audition was perfect.
Yeah.
But you don't look like the character we want.
Right.
And that's it. Next person. You know what I mean? Like we don't, like coming from a sports background, we're sports athletes.
The
We don't
best
understand that. Like,
Yeah.
because if you're the best player, you're going to start.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like there's not some other thing that you can't control, right?
Yeah.
Because there's other things you can't control that it's going to influence that necessarily. But like in show business, there's a lot of things that are just, hey, this isn't for you this time.
Yeah, they don't go tell Jalen Brunson, you know, that they're like, hey, we wish you were 6'5".
Yeah.
You know, we need
I mean,
a
they
6'5".
do wish that, but
Dude,
I do still wish that, but they're like,
But it
no,
would be
you're a baller.
dude, I don't know how you do. I'd get so frustrated.
yes.
Like when we talked about the Matilda thing, it's like you have too much of a stage presence.
Yeah.
We need more of like an autistic feel to this character. You're
Yeah.
just like, so I'm too good. I sing too good.
Yeah.
I take up too much of the spotlight.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not getting the
It's like
role.
going to an interview and they're
That's
like,
why you want me to be fourth backup.
Correct. and that's
And you're
what
just
it
like,
is.
okay, yeah.
That's what it is. Because like, but the good example, like Matilda is not a loud, ambitious, huge
yes.
character. She's a meek and mild, and they
Right.
want a character they want an actor that fits that mold. And that's how it works for these movies. And it's kind of weird for me, from being an athlete, where it's like, no, the dog, the best player who shows up to the tryout is on the team. Period. Like there's never a situation where the best player shows up for the tryout.
Give the ball to Dave. Yeah, you're just like, yes, dude, yes.
and it's like apparent to like everybody there.
Yeah.
You're like, yep, that guy.
Yeah.
Yep. He's the one.
All the parents are like, dude, stop giving it to my son. Give
For
it
sure.
to Dave, dude.
For sure.
Dave will score the touchdown.
Yeah. Most parents.
Another example is when like my daughter's in theater, she tried out for Shrek, and one of the characters is Dragon, right? And Dragon and Shrek has a big musical number,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like again, I'm biased, of course, but my daughter just can really sing, really belt it, and killed the number. But in Shrek had like the dragon has like a relationship with Donkey, right? And it's big. Dragon's obviously huge, right? And like my daughter is 11, 10, and so she's not going to get that role. Even though she can sing, she can act, she can play, but she does not look at all. And they're not going to cast an 11-year-old to be in a relationship on stage with like the Donkey character who's 30. You know what I mean? Like,
What if they did?
These are all
If they
considerations.
did, would you have been like, yeah, you could do that?
Well, no, I said that to Chelsea. I was like, that I've seen Shrek a million times. I know like the character of Dragon and like has like a romance, and that's kind of weird for a kid. And the director agreed, and he's like, nah, she has the chops to sing and dance and act for this role. But we're not going to cast her because she's too young and she doesn't fit the role. And the person they cast her
We
is
need
like
a fat purple person.
Breathes fire.
But I think that's just interesting because
You're a lady. I love that.
that's right. You're a girl dragon. I mean, of course you're a girl dragon.
That's a good. That was a good one, dude. You're good at that.
That's a good movie.
Donkey.
Yeah. Anyway, that was. I give that
We
movie.
just found a new segment, bro.
I want
to. Hey,
accents.
I'm gonna also like give you Spanish words, but you have to say them in a Korean accent.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
That'd be tough.
Ole.
Well, yeah.
That's how you get canceled. Right there.
Yeah. And our YouTube channel's gone.
It's gone. And it's gone.
And
Okay.
cut.
All right.
So we do need to keep it moving, but
What's your score, dog? Oh, you gave it a 10.
10, dude, it's a great movie.
All right.
Best
so
movie ever.
Hey, let me remind you, Dave, you can give decimal points.
Yes. So
right? You can go
I
Dave-
made
you
him
can
give
get-
one. He
You can,
8.0.
you can go Dave Portnoy.
8.0.
I went back and I examined. So it's much easier to me to rate things when I have stuff to compare it to.
Okay.
So I went back. I actually redid all my ratings here for all the ones that we've done so far.
Are you tracking all of our ratings?
All of mine, all my ratings.
Selfish.
Well, this whole thing was about me having seen movies. That was the whole idea.
That's fine.
It is.
It is selfish, dude.
So, the worst one, Predator, at a 3.
Standard maximum.
You
Next.
need to see it.
Training Day, 5.
Terrible rating.
Departed, 6. The Big Short, 6. Catch Me If You Can, 6.
Oh, dude.
Catch Me
Wait. Catch Me If You Can was what?
Catch Me If You Can, 6.5.
Okay.
Black Hawk Down, the other guys in Interstellar, all 7s. Top Gun Maverick, 8. Crazy Stupid Love, 8.5, and Fight Club, 9.
There you go. So we're all me and you across the board with the ratings there. I'm in last. So
And what's funny is I did average. I did your picks and your picks,
I
and I
knew
averaged
you
them.
would.
I love a stat. I love a good stat guy.
Before this one, when it was even, it was an even amount of picks between you guys. It was like 5 and 5. It was 6.5 to 6.5 exactly.
Really?
But adding this one in, Matt has a 6. Not really fair, but Matt has a 6th one. His is now 6.75.
So you're saying
6.5.
You have to bring it next week.
You're
dude.
saying I'm just overly sensitive because I think you hate all my picks, but really you're giving all.
Yeah.
Well, but he also gave us a dog shit movie.
That
really helped me.
He really
out,
dragged
dude.
us.
If you throw Predator out, like that changes drastically. That number's like
That's
you
true.
bump it up to like a 7.
he has a
8.
Predator at a 3 and a Fight Club at a 9.
Right.
So but then you have like yours are like 6, 7. Like all of them are like 6, 7.
So we get at one point, are we going to get a mulligan where we can take off one of those?
or drop one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you have to bring it next week, Colin.
So I thought that I'd show that you guys that.
I like
stat.
that. Only you would do that, and I love that. I love that about you.
I love a good stat, dude. I'm a stat guy.
All right, well, gentlemen,
man.
we're about an hour into it, and let's get into the top 5. So the top 5 for this week is going to be top 5 TV shows from adulthood this time. So we already did the TV shows from childhood, so this is from adulthood. So I guess the first time you saw it, you were an adult, essentially. Is essentially the rule.
Not
now,
Colin's list where
was
he
gonna
was
say-
a child and watched adult shows.
I don't got to listen to you guys talk about Stylebender and Pokemon and all this other stuff. We can actually talk about some fun things, dude.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Watch Colin's
Amazing
list
movie.
be the reverse.
That movie,
where he's
that would, if we did a top 5 all time, that would probably still make the list.
What?
Avatar: The Last Airbender would make my list.
I know.
I knew you would say that.
it would.
And when you talked about it in the podcast, you said like, I don't want to just keep going on because I could, and then you would talk for another 5 minutes. And you're like, all right, I got to stop. But
know.
like, and then I'm like, yeah, Dave, we know you love this show.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What can I say? I like it.
Almost to the point where I want to watch it. I'm like, and I've heard about it on other podcasts because people are like, dude, this show is one of the best of all times.
Yeah.
I just never gonna watch it.
Because
You're gonna get him
the
started.
animated version is
here we go,
a
dude.
cartoon, and you just that style you wouldn't like it. They made a live action version of it on Netflix.
It's
It's worth
awesome.
watching. It's real
Is it
people.
with like a little bald kid with like an arrow on his face?
Yep.
I've seen that.
It's real people. It's not
Is it
animated.
Is it English?
Yep. It's all English. Yeah. I mean,
If it wasn't, what would that mean?
try that out and then
I don't want
go
to
from
read
there.
subtitles.
Or to have your kids watch it.
Good
and then
catch.
you can just like have an excuse. to have
Can
it
my
on.
kids watch the new version, the live action version?
Yeah, it's not inappropriate.
No, it's not at all. It's a kid's show. It's on Nickelodeon.
Do they run all dumb like the?
Not in the live action. In the cartoon, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to watch that, that's
Yeah,
fine.
fair enough.
All
Okay,
right.
Colin.
But I digress.
Again.
Top TV shows of adulthood.
Yes. Number 5.
I have an honorable mention. I always like. Do you guys have honorable mentions? Or
I
no?
got several.
I do, but I want to do it at the end.
No, I know. We always do it at the end.
Yep.
But I just want to know: do we have them? I like to know.
I do have one. Mhm.
I like to know how many we got in the chamber. Okay, good. You guys are gonna hate this because my number 5 is a 5A and 5B. I didn't want to put one at honorable mention. I still have honorable mention, but my 5B is Breaking Bad.
Okay.
My 5A is House of Cards.
Got it.
Breaking Bad, we all know. Everyone loved it. It swept the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Albuquerque.
Oh yeah,
It
forgot.
was.
That's right.
You know, it
Didn't think
went
about
crazy. You know what's wild about this is I did not watch Breaking Bad when it was hitting.
Yeah.
I watched it like probably 4 or 5 years later. So it was kind of wild. I still really enjoyed it and everything. And then my 5A House of Cards was one of the first like long form shows that I watched that I can remember that I really liked. And again, It's a lot like both of our number ones. I'm calling it now. Dave and I have the same number one. Where I loved the first couple seasons. I don't know how many, and then it just got way out of control, way weird.
I don't remember the timeline of that, but didn't Kevin Spacey get in his trouble during when he was
like I call it like season like 4, like 3 or 4 or whatever, like when they start like writing his wife in more and this and that, and then like the next season he's gone and it's only her, and then you find out what he was doing.
Interesting.
Which also made kind of interesting for his character, because did you guys ever watch House of Cards?
No.
Watch the first couple of seasons. It's really good, but like when the allegations came about, it's very interesting because there's some ties to his character that acted the very same way on screen.
Interesting.
Ooh, so they were trying to
old friends or staff workers, both male and female.
Okay.
Like it was pretty wild.
So you think they're trying to help him out a little bit?
No.
Or the opposite?
No, they were trying to distance themselves.
No, I don't think. I think it's just it was like this man is so powerful, he can do whatever he wants and this and that. And then it came out later, and they're like, well, yeah, we got to get rid of this guy. I just think it was just it was not funny because of what his allegations were, but it's just like crazy that they wrote it this way.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, whatever,
what do you know?
It comes out he's actually doing that same exact, like forcing himself onto people.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I'm a huge, like House of Cards is great.
Okay.
It's like to me, it's like it's a R-rated version, up-to-date version of West Wing. Did you guys ever watch West Wing back in the day?
No.
Dude, I know both. I know both. Yeah.
I would say I forget where it gets weird, like how many seasons there is and where it got weird. But for sure, the first and second season were bangers. Breaking Bad, all seasons were bangers, dude.
It wasn't there an actual house in Albuquerque where people would like show up and throw the pizza on top of the roof or whatever?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
I just saw it on the news the other day actually about something, but yeah.
I'd heard that story.
I watched the first couple episodes of Breaking Bad and I was in it. I was involved. I was enjoying it, but then I stopped watching it. It was too real for me. Like it was like, spoiler alert for later. Like I watch movies that have blood and gore and like stuff like that, but the fact that it was modern day, it makes it way too real. And I was like, because like at the beginning he like dissolve the body in a tub, right? And then they have like he has a guy in his basement locked up, the other like drug dealer guy, and like I was like, you know what? I don't. This is like real. This like actually happens. Like it's happening right now.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with this.
Welcome to Albuquerque, dog.
That's why it eventually took me out of it, because like I'll watch shows like that, but they're usually based different time or different place or different universe.
So will you go back and watch it now?
Nah, I don't. I was like, this isn't it for me.
Will you go?
I'm not denying that I was on the edge of my seat. I was like gripped for sure.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that's a good show. I just wasn't for me.
When they came out with like El Camino, the follow-up movie to it. It was great.
Better Call Saul or whatever.
Yeah, I never got into Better Call Saul.
I never watched that, but it is like very highly acclaimed series.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's my fives.
Matt, what you got for a 5?
All right, so my number 5 top TV shows in my adulthood is Yellowstone.
Ooh. I got that at number 3. There's some inside baseball going on. Some inside baseball. We'll talk about your number 5 at my number 3.
Yeah. Wow.
My number 3 is Yellowstone.
So what are the odds?
Do you have Yellowstone on your list?
I do not.
All right. Good.
We're such good actors.
Yeah.
So we'll skip you.
We're such good actors.
We're like 80s actors right now,
dude.
So yeah, this was tough for me because I'm assuming I'm missing something. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm missing something. So, I don't know. But the one that comes to my mind that I've really liked recently is New Girl.
Yeah.
New Girl is hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? It's Zoe Deschanel is the main character, but she's fine. But the 3 characters, like the whole is just this girl, single woman. She moves in with 3 guys in like a big apartment.
I know the show. I just never watched it.
Dude, Nick, Winston, and Schmidt are the 3 guys. Freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
These dudes are hilarious. The whole is like multiple seasons, a good chunky, amount of seasons, right?
When was it?
I can tell you actually. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was from 2011 to 2018.
It holds up from 2011.
Oh, dude, it's not like it's not mind blowing or anything like that. It's a comedy show.
Folding laundry,
dude. Watch it before bed. It's like I'm rolling every episode. I am rolling because these dudes are just hilarious.
When you laugh at the TV for a show,
yeah.
Does your wife like look at you like what's going?
No,
it's like I don't laugh very much at like shows or whatever, but like sometimes I'll like think it's something's hilarious. She's like, really? This is that funny?
Yeah.
And then she'll kind of lock in for a minute. She's like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's one. And like our friend's name is Jess, and the character's name is Jess.
Yeah.
And so whenever I see her, I'm like, it's Jess. That's part from the show. Anyway, it's New Girl, and it's as far as comedies, a lot of minor comedies. Spoiler, but those are. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sure.
I approve of that.
New Girl.
I approve of that.
All right. My number 4 is Mad Men. You guys ever seen it?
Nope, but I know of it.
I know.
Highly recommend. You never seen it either, Hainer?
I know of it. I mean, what's his name?
It.
Jason or not Jason?
Scott Hamm.
Scott? Is it Scott?
Yeah.
It's that guy from Maverick. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
We talked about him.
Yeah, he's the instructor. Okay. John Hamm.
Either way.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's about what in the 70s, 80s or whatever. Advertisements. He plays the role great. They like just how they treated women in the workplace back then. They portrayed that perfectly. I'm assuming.
a lot of cigarettes and
cigs
and
inside,
whiskey.
dude. Everyone had like all these rich dudes had an apartment in the city because they had to work late. They all had changes of shirts in their drawers because they all had mistresses. Like, I'm not condoning the actions, but it was a great show. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
And that's all I have because you guys have never watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of it, and I've like seen bits and clips like here and there. But yeah,
Watch it. I recommend.
This is something that never resonated with me. I was just like, that doesn't look.
I guess also like I'm a business guy. Like I'm in sales.
You're wheeling and dealing.
Hold on, time out. I just swallowed a gnat.
Oh.
A little extra protein.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess like I'm drawn to that because I'm in the business world and how they did stuff back then. I don't know. It's just So
yeah. Okay.
But it was good.
Yeah.
Nice.
My number 4. It was a show that I would not think that I would like as much as I did. I watched it with my wife.
Super Sengoku 4.
Yeah. Which made it better. Made it because it's something we enjoy watching together.
Nice.
Was This Is Us.
Okay. We shouted out now last week. Who was the director?
Huh?
Was the same director of Crazy Stupid Love? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah. Those guys paired up.
This Is Us, where it's like the 3 siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was all in on This Is Us for the first few seasons because Teresa and I, we pretty much just watch like true crime documentaries now together.
Okay.
Other than that, we don't like. I watch my shows. She doesn't really watch a whole lot of TV, whatever. But whenever we do, I watch a lot of. I'm like, it's a lot of this stuff. I'm not like a savant. I feel like, but it's like, oh, well, this guy's gonna do this. Character development. I can call it out early. She hates when I do it, and this show had so many curveballs. I was like, I am all in on this. The curveball after curveball after curveball. But then, like, I forget what season we stopped watching it. I'm like, okay, dude, how many curveballs? At some point, you got to follow the story through.
Yeah.
You can't just keep throwing the curveballs. Yeah.
Somehow they just kept veering or whatever. But I'm with you. There were some where like it took a long time to get, and you're just like, dude, like you tease this in episode 1. Now we're on like the second season even, and you're still not talking about this.
Yeah.
But I will say I love how the timelines were like all over the place, but in a good way, to where you're like you're watching the characters 20 years ago, and then 20 years or in the present, and then 20 years in the future, and then it's jumping back here, and then you have a random person that gets off at a bus stop or something, and every time you're like, all right, this person has to be pretty significant, right? And you're like, that's probably so and so's dad. Well, then it ends up just being somebody who drove a car past something, and the character was like significant because he did something for like a split second, but not like a main character in the time. I always thought it was awesome. Like it kept me captivated, like how it jumped all over the place.
You watched the whole thing? All the seasons?
Yeah, it came out in 2016, and it was 6 seasons.
I just got tired of it.
No, I loved it. Loved it. It was a great series, and made me, the dad in the movie, in the series, Jack, it just reminded me of like my own dad, and just a good male figure, I think. So,
Very good.
Yeah, I think that it sounds. I haven't watched it, but it sounds like that has a same problem as a lot of modern TV dramas. Is they can't like close at loose ends. They keep throwing curveballs, and when it's like this 85th curveball, it's like, okay, I kind of check out.
That's exactly.
There's no resolution.
I don't care.
There's no resolution anymore.
Teresa
like, okay.
was so mad because she's
Yeah.
like, let's lock in for the next episode. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm like, go ahead, watch.
Yeah,
it.
like, I don't care anymore.
And then she's like, what? Like, this was our thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't care. So then she stopped watching it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
That's our number 4, right?
Very good.
My number 4.
Das good.
So my number 4 came out in 2007, ended in 2019. So 2007, I was younger. I was a minor still, but I did not watch this at all until.
I'll allow it since Colin did an A and a B on his 5.
Well, no, but it's when you
technicality?
when you watched it, right? I didn't watch it when it first came out, and this is The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory came out in 2007.
Let's go.
And then I probably didn't watch it until 2015, 14. So like way later.
Yes.
My dad loves this show. I'm not like this show sucks. Where I'm just like not interested.
It's a modern sitcom, so like it's a laugh track, kind of thing. So I think the characters are funny. It's just like it's the explosion of like the nerd culture, or like nerd culture becoming from out of the basements into more mainstream, kind of like celebrating like that shift in society of where like the nerds are more like cool kind of thing.
Yeah.
These guys in the show are never cool, but but what the show itself was very popular, right? And then like one of them ends up marrying the girl, the pretty girl, right? In the kind of thing.
Whoa, why are you throwing air quotes out there, dude?
There was a girl on there I never saw.
Why are you throwing air quotes out there? You didn't think she was pretty?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the show.
Who is your
favorite
favorite character?
My favorite character is Sheldon.
Gotta be.
The show
carries the show.
Without
Which Sheldon, like the weird, like the super odd one.
The tall,
they're all
skinny.
tall, skinny.
Yeah.
Jim Parsons is the name of the actor.
Hilarious. Man.
And they made a spin-off show called Young Sheldon, where he's a
Young
child.
Sheldon's good too.
Also a very good show.
I literally just about to say I've heard his trash.
Oh really? No, it's good.
That's hilarious.
Very good. It's very good.
Not as good as Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory is great. It's just easy TV. It's not serious. It's not like you have to be glued to it. It's just funny, punchlines, one-liners, antics. It's not anything like that's gonna blow your mind, but I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the whole thing. I watched it through multiple times, so that says something.
It was like a modern day Seinfeld because it was like the most popular show on TV.
Yes.
Like
And
the characters were making like $1 million an episode or
Yeah.
something crazy.
Good for them.
Towards the end.
Good for
Yeah.
them.
I will agree with
Big
that
Bang
one.
Theory.
Good job.
Number 4.
All right.
Number
My
3.
number 3, your number 5, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Dude, Yellowstone is a banger.
Yes. I think you were the one who turned me on to it.
I turn you on.
Yes. All the time.
All the time. Dude, yeah. Top to bottom. Ever since I watched my number 1 show, I only want to watch like long form episode shows that drag on. Yellowstone just scratches me where I itch.
Yeah.
I love cowboy stuff. I love gangster stuff. These guys are gangster cowboys.
Yes.
Taylor Sheridan, don't miss.
Yes.
The only problem with him is he don't finish anything. Dude, yes. Yellowstone all the way, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and rewatch. I maybe too soon right now, but like these are the like Yellowstone is a show where I can't wait till my boys of age to be like, dude, sit down. We are going to enjoy a banger.
Did you watch any of the spin-offs of it?
All of them.
Yes, and they're all great too.
They're all great.
The one with Tim McGraw, 1883.
Amazing.
It was awesome. I will say 1923 with Harrison Ford. And who was it? Who's the lady?
The Irish lady that's also in
Mobland.
Mobland, yeah.
Yeah, I'll think of her name. Helen something.
Keller.
Yes.
Keller. I was kind of thinking
Helen Mir. Helen Mir. No.
How does she talk? What accent is she talk with?
Yeah, das Boot. I don't know. Yeah.
What's this about? This is a phenomenon. A lot of people like this one. What's it about?
You know. Everyone knows what it is.
I don't. I have no idea.
It's about
a national park. Okay, got it.
No.
Guys,
not a
Old
national
Faithful.
park.
Get out of
No,
here. No,
stop
you
it.
know, you.
I
know,
don't
I know what
know.
you're doing. Everyone knows Yellowstone.
you're-
Yellowstone is about a family ranch that everyone's coming for his land. Okay. He's fighting a multi-faced war against the Native Americans that want his land because it's rightfully theirs, and their ancestors took it. He's fighting against all the people that have found out about how awesome Montana is, and they're moving to Montana, and they want to build airports and ski resorts and everything else. Mm-hmm. And he's got to fight against all that to keep his land exactly how it is, keep their way of life. And so he's a cattleman, but also he's a bad human being. He's a gangster. They're like, once you're part of Yellowstone, they brand you. You don't leave Yellowstone unless you go to the train station. The train station is a county. And I guess I don't know if it is like now, but at one point it was a real thing where it's a county with no law, no courts, no nothing. It's like a nameless, faceless county in between Wyoming and South Dakota or something like that, where they would they would go like throw these people off the cliff. They called it the train station. They'd shoot them in the head and throw them down in this deep ravine where no one will ever find them. No one cares about this place.
Dude,
so like,
how many people do you think at the bottom of that train station?
7.
Because they introduced it like last year. Yeah. No, they introduced it in 1923. Which is awesome. It was awesome to have a callback to that. 100 years later.
What's the time for? Okay, so it's 1823.
Okay, so let me put you on some game. Oh, okay. So Yellowstone is modern day.
Oh,
hey, we're about to go full airbender on Dave. So
yeah,
sit tight.
I mean, this is wild that you don't know anything.
No,
you should watch. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're into airbender and stuff, you're probably not gonna like this. But Yellowstone's modern day, and he's fighting all these different battles, right? Modern day battles, and then what's the first one?
So it's 1883.
1883 is when they are the family, the Yellowstone family, the Duttons, are making their way to Montana to settle down.
Okay.
Yeah. And it tells the story, the origin stories of like why they're at where they're at and how they got there and da-da-da-da. And then they go to 1923, which is like, do some quick math, down the ways. Now they have an established piece of land and everything. And now they're fighting against, it's Yellowstone, but in 1923.
Got it.
They're fighting against the sheep farmers that are mad because they don't have good grazing lands, but the cattle ranchers do, and the cattle ranchers get all the calls. And then you start to see like development, like this Dutton in 1923, he gets elected as livestock commissioner, and so now he's playing like the gangster game, both politically and actually killing people.
Yeah.
And then the rich guy comes in, and they run across these like Norwegians that are skiing down the slopes. He's like, take me up there. They talk to him. Then he thinks ski resorts, and he gets all these rich investors. And so then you start to see the development of how can we make money off this land versus just having cattle here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then it rolls into Yellowstone.
So like Yellowstone is modern day, and then there's
prequels.
There's two prequels.
Two prequels.
There's a prequel and there's extra.
They're talking about having a third prequel.
A mega prequel.
In like the 60s or 70s with his his dad or whatever.
I think it'd be perfect.
And I'm like, let's go.
The worst part about my only qualm with Yellowstone is unless I'm a total moron, I totally missed how the family trees worked. Except for I knew like that's a Dutton, that's a Dutton, that's a Dutton.
I sat down
because like at what point there's like a nephew takes over the ranch, and so like I had like so like it like the tree's going like this, and then all of a sudden it comes this way because someone dies. So like I had to go online and find the family tree as to how it works. Yeah, that's my only complaint about Yellowstone is like the character development as far as that goes didn't matter, but also I feel like Taylor Sheridan was like, oh, we'll make a quick family tree and people can look it up. And I make awesome stuff, so who cares?
Yeah. No,
I highly recommend Yellowstone. I would give it a watch,
awesome.
dude. It's great.
It's
amazing.
Loved it.
Beth is one of my favorite characters. She's a stud. It's all great. Now, I will say the worst character in that show is
Jamie.
No.
Oh, he's the worst. How is he not the worst?
No, the worst character in that show is what's the other brother?
That
marries the Native American.
You think he's the worst?
No, His
Casey.
son, Casey's son is the worst.
His son?
That kid sucks.
He's like 8. What are you talking? Are you talking about bad as an actor or something?
Yeah,
or what?
just all in all,
What?
he's ungrateful. I think he's a bad actor.
Okay, I'll give you he's a bad actor, but as a character, like he's just a kid, and they're just like, "Hey, kid, go play in the corner."
He's Matt Damon in Interstellar, dude. Get rid of him. Who cares?
What? That's a wild take,
we don't need him.
dude. That's he doesn't do anything enough to even upset anybody. Like that's
he bugs me.
Okay,
I don't like him.
Wow,
you should watch and you can find out like this kid's
wow. Okay, I'm taken back by that, man.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Okay,
but yeah, you're 5, my 3, Yellowstone. Dave's gonna watch it, report back.
Bang. Gangster Cowboys. Dave.
It sounds good. It just it does sound, the setting sounds extremely boring to me. It's like Montana, and they're fighting a land dispute, modern day. I don't know. That does not like grip me like, oh my god, I gotta see what happens in Montana in modern day farmers.
You don't know what goes on in Montana. Now you know.
I would be much more like the 1823 sounds more to me, much more interesting to me than, because at least there's a difference. There's a time difference. That's
you don't like modern day stuff, man.
That's true. That's honestly true.
It's too real for
me. And he doesnlike the outside.
Yeah, it's all outside.
Yeah, you know what? This
Always
is not
outside.
scratching any of your boxes, dude.
Yeah.
No, I mean, all my like, I like modern day shit, like the dramas. Like the dramas and thrillers and stuff, yeah, you're right. They're not. The modern day stuff doesn't really do it. If it's I needed a different setting, different time, country setting.
I love all
universe.
Drama stuff like that, man. I'm all
more like Love Island and like Real Worlds.
No, that can kick raw.
All right, number 3 was Yellowstone. Number 5, Yellowstone.
Yes, sir.
Good
nice.
job,
What you got for 3, Matt?
I'm with you on this one. All right, Colin. I hope this is on your list, and if it's not, I hope you forgot, and I will forgive you. Peaky Blinders.
Number 2.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right, we can come back.
We'll talk about it. We'll
we can come back. We can swing around.
Hey, put a pin in that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right.
Okay. My number 3 is another one that's a little sketchy for the rules because it came out in 1997, but it's South Park.
Okay.
I did not watch South Park until I was an adult. I mean, maybe
I'll allow it.
Maybe an episode here or there, but like
all out because it's South Park.
When I became 20 years old, I remember in my dorm or my apartment in college, I watched all of them in a row. It was every single one, like on Netflix. South Park is one of the most intelligent shows, ever. Really, legitimately one of the most intelligent shows, and it seems like the stupidest show.
Yeah,
it's a crazy like how able to say such intelligent things through like the 4 main characters are 8 or 9, and they're like they're goofballs and like they do weird stuff.
Cartoons,
it's like
terrible drawings,
animation, and like, but their political, social commentary is second to none, and it's not close. Like they hit everybody. It's not like they're leaning one way or the other. Everyone catches hands, right? Like it's not
everybody's getting
no one's safe.
Yep.
It's so, but they can do it in a way that's so. It's like what they're talking about, but it's like this is so clever because they're not saying it. They're not. It's not on the nose at all, right? It's not on the nose at all. It's so, but they get their point across perfectly without
when
which is not. This is like not a hot take at all because like several people say I've watched like several episodes, but never like from start to finish. But that's all I hear about people is like, dude, they are the best. Probably the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
social commentary.
It's not close.
Their interpretation or like worldview outlook is like amazing. Like they can take anything going on in the world, explain it well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like just how dumb whatever is happening
exactly,
and then also just make it really funny.
Yes, like they can explain it to you in a perfect way. And you're like, oh yeah, I see what they're saying, and they're always mocking. They're mocking everybody.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Like they're mocking everyone. And it's just, I don't know. I
remember
again, it's still going. They're still making episodes, as far as I know. Maybe they're done. But
when did they make that transition in their show where it was like kind of like dumb, like punch line stuff, silly stuff to like more of a world of broad view? Because there was like a transition period in their show from what it started out as to what it is now. Obviously, you got to grow or whatever. But that, I want to say, like after like 3 seasons or something, they made like a massive leap where it was like, all right, this show's becoming like really smart
for sure. And because they kept their because like originally it was all drawn, right? It was very much animation, old school animation. But even though the technology got better and better, they kept that style. It allowed them to create shows extremely quickly.
Yeah.
So back in its heyday, their episodes would a new episode would come out and it would be so current. It was like what they're talking about happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like there's no shows that are entertainment shows besides news shows, obviously, but like entertainment shows, they're not that fast.
There's people who say like it didn't matter if it wasn't on South Park.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not news unless it was on South Park.
Dude, again, it is not for show for kids at all. But it is it
is a cartoon.
They are best. What they are attempting to do, and the people trying to do it, they've done it the best, and I don't particularly think it's close. So that's my number 3.
Not even Family Guy?
Family Guy is good. Actually, it's funny. The creators of South Park hate Family Guy.
Really?
They hate Family Guy.
Wait, the creators?
Yes, they hate it.
Matt
I remember. I can't remember exactly
Stone.
what they said, but they don't like it because they say it's random. It's not like it's just like punchlines. It's not, the stories aren't as cohesive as South Park stories.
Family Guy's hilarious because it's like awkward, funny. There's different
Flashbacks.
things. Yeah,
It's
but
like-
there's no political commentary.
There is sometimes, but also Family Guy is very much one way. They lean heavily to one side of the aisle.
Yeah.
What side?
Definitely the political left for sure. Seth MacFarlane is no without a doubt on the political left.
Yeah.
Whereas South Park would hit everybody.
Family
equally.
Guys. I'm like the same with Family Guy as South Park. Like I've seen episodes, enjoy them.
Yeah.
Don't really like follow it. Don't care that much.
I
Whatever.
like Family Guy. I think it's funny, but it's not, as far as like the intelligent cleverness of South Park. It's not even close. So anyway, my number 3, South Park.
Good number 3, dude. I'm in love with my top 3. I'll tell you right now. Like, if you haven't seen my top 3, you need to just do yourself a favor and go watch my top 3. Because my number 2 is your number 3, Piggy Blinders.
The Peaky Blinders.
Have you seen Piggy Blinders?
I've seen the first couple of seasons actually.
This
it's
gnat I swallowed
fantastic.
earlier, I think, is trying to come back the other way.
Yeah, get him. Get him, dude.
Sorry about that.
Don't let him win.
You said what? You saw what?
The first couple of seasons. The reason I loved it. The reason it didn't make my list is because I have for any of my list, I have to have seen all the episodes from beginning to end.
Okay.
And it
and your rules, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I set rules for myself on this one.
for a top 5 list of all time. I had to have seen every episode. I can't be like,
Why'd you stop Piggy Blinders?
it just, I don't know. I think it ran into the same issues as some of these modern TV shows where it just didn't. It kind of ran out of steam. It ran out of steam. The first couple seasons I thought were great.
There's literally steam in every episode. What are you talking about?
Literally.
Yes. We talked about this before, but Tommy Shelby
Yes.
is one of my, if we do a character list of like top 5 characters, spoiler alert, he's going to be on the list.
Yes.
He is he's one of the characters that characters like him, I love. Where you walk into the room, he commands, he owns it. He owns the room. He has the confidence through the roof. He's clever, witty. He knows what to say in every conversation.
But he's not like old boy we were talking about in Maverick, Hangman. He's not like,
He won't throw it in your face.
he's not commanding the room because of what he's saying.
He's not arrogant.
He's just sitting there and like someone's insulting him and he's like, right, okay, he's about
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, he'll let the other person, he doesn't even talk a lot. Most of the time, he's not talking the most.
I think I'm gonna go back home and start rewatching Piggy Blinders.
I want to rewatch it.
Season
too,
1
man.
is great.
When did it start? When did it first air?
I didn't. It's not on my list. So I didn't look it up.
I did
I
catch
got you,
this
fam.
one when it was throwing heat. I did like Yellowstone. I think I was a little late to the game. Peaky Blinders was, I think I was like lockstep with everyone's like, this is popular, and I was right there with it.
Now we're talking about it, maybe I have to go back to it and find out where I was and keep going because it is good.
Peaky Blinders came out in 2013, had 6 seasons, and
Yes.
if you didn't know, they finished up filming, and there will be a Peaky Blinders movie released on Netflix in 2025 or early 2026.
Wow.
Wait. You said 2013?
Correct.
I was not.
You were on the train then?
No, no.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, because my number 1 was the first like long form that I watched, and then I think maybe my dad put this. Yeah, so I went way wrong. I probably watched it while I lived here because
I was late to it. I was late to it by several years.
Yes.
Because I think maybe I talked to you about it or something. We started talking about it, but
yes,
I'd seen it around and I was like, oh, something about horses or something.
I watched it
and
last year.
You know, British people or something in the 20s. And then like watching, I'm like, no, dude, this is tight. This is like organized
then
crime.
you can't go back to the beginning. You have to pick up.
Yeah,
it'll ruin it for you. It's like, I know what's going on.
It's recent enough that I can just pick back up.
Yeah.
Okay, but are you guys locked in on the movie that they're going to come out on Netflix about it?
When is that happening?
Either
About it or like
a continuation,
like the
of
El
story.
Camino with Breaking Bad? And
No, it's
oh my
Thomas
gosh.
Shelby's in it.
I can't.
Everybody's in it.
I forgot, dude. I will kick off. I kick out my number 5. I have a new number 5, The Last Kingdom.
Oh, I was
The
going
Viking
to
show.
say if you didn't say that, I was going to be surprised.
Yeah, I cannot believe it's my number 4. Actually, I put it at 4.
Yeah,
It's amazing, and because they ended it, they had like several seasons with a movie, Breaking Bad with a movie. Yeah. I think that might be the move. Is like put a bow on it in a 2-hour movie. Character development's all there. You just throw it. I'm excited for that. When is that going to come out?
it said either the filming's done. It's supposed to release. Either said like late to 2025 or early 26.
Okay.
So we'll chat about
Oh,
it. You guys
also,
got my number.
you allowed Dave to have his shows that came out when he was a minor to be on his list only because I had 2 number 5s.
Yeah.
I got rid of both my number 5s because my new number 5 is Mad Men and my number 4 is Last Kingdom.
So
his list doesn't count.
Dave.
Yeah.
No, because I didn't watch them until I was an adult.
No, list doesn't count. Jury has spoken.
No, but yeah, Peaky
Nolan
Blinders is
Boyd.
great. Peaky Blinders is fantastic.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I love the scheme, like scheming, plotting.
Yeah,
the rise.
they're the mafia. They're a mafia.
Yeah,
they're
the rise.
They're a gang.
Dude, you are going to love the last season.
Really?
I just remembered like one of the last episodes and how they bring a whole bunch of stuff. Dude,
Dude,
you need it. Yeah, you're going to
Dave,
love it.
Yeah.
let me throw this at you, dude. Let me pique your interest here. One of the seasons, I think it's like.
Whoa!
Spoiler
dude,
alert.
What are you?
I'm gonna help him out here. I'm gonna give him a little nugget.
I don't think he needs it. He
He needs it, Dave. One of the seasons, there's a British Hitler.
Okay.
British Hitler. bro.
That's opposite actually. I don't like that.
I was gonna say, I think you're.
That's the opposite to me.
No,
I don't like that.
no, Dave,
Really?
you'll
Really?
like it.
You're
You'll like it.
No, you're not.
And Thomas Shelby's there to stop him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please
Okay.
stop. Please stop talking.
Thomas Shelby,
Please stop
Arthur,
talking.
his younger brother's name I forget.
I retract that.
Their aunt that's like running the show a little bit, like their aunt that's in it.
The Jewish guy that does the rum. That's Tom Hardy.
He's great.
Tom Hardy,
He is
yes.
great.
Dude.
Yes.
Dude, yes.
I gotta get back into
There's
it, I
so
guess.
many tie-in that you got to put.
I gotta get
Yes,
back into it.
get into it.
Because we talked about we had to put the
I just thought of that the last season.
Yeah.
Dude,
we had to put the closed captions
Oh
on
yeah.
because of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the first ones.
Anyway, yeah, great pick. No,
Good. You're
great
getting
pick.
back into it. Can't wait.
Great
I
pick.
love it.
What's your number 2, Matt?
All right, so my number 2, I don't do a lot of comedies. I watch them or whatever, but I'm mainly a more dramatic series guy. I went with Key and Peele.
Okay. Sketch comedy.
Sketch show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
so
funny. Yeah, they have some good ones.
Love it.
That's your number 2.
My number 2.
Mm.
So Key and Peele came out after Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched Chappelle when I was younger or whatever, but Key and
That
Peele.
was hilarious.
Yeah, great. But Key and Peele to me just stuck out more. And I'm going to do, it came out in 2012 and it had 5 seasons. And I'm going to go top 5 within a top 5 of
Oh.
Key and Peele
Just
skits.
run through it real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Yes. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see this.
All right, top 5. The acapella group skit
Ooh, I
where
love that one.
it's all white dudes and
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
there's 2 competing black dudes.
I
that
just
do-
saw this the other
Yes.
day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beat 'em, boom, boom.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're like, what the hell was that, man?
Yep. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Good one.
The Obama handshake and Obama translator.
Yep.
Which also happens
Both.
like there's been several
Yes.
white
Yes.
and black like NFL players
Uh-huh.
that have like done this on purpose to see what happens. Like
Uh-huh.
Obama would be like dap dap dap
Yeah.
handshake.
Yeah.
Dap,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's great.
That's
It's great. College football intro names.
Yep. Classic.
That's great.
Yeah.
Classic.
Substitute teacher, A.A. Ron.
I mean,
Great. That's
all
an all-timer.
timer.
Uh-huh.
All-timer.
Yeah. go see the principal O'Shaq Hennessy.
You mean Principal O'Shaughnessy?
Yeah.
And then obviously number one, we all know it. I said, man.
No, dude.
That's got to be
I
number
think
one.
okay. Well,
All
honorable
time.
mentions the slave block.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, well, let's probably keep that
He's
one
like,
off.
hey dog, hey dog,
Colin's
hey
here,
dog.
so
It's
why
been
not?
nice knowing you, dog.
Yeah.
And then this guy gets up like, man, you know, Colin's like this tall, right?
Yeah.
Like, how is he gonna even read?
Yeah.
No,
That's
dude, it was
funny.
hilarious.
Yes.
Yes.
What about the Liam Neeson one?
Oh,
With their ballets.
They're like mispronouncing.
ballets.
Hey, when he called.
Hey, Liam Neeson's though. Liam Neeson's
Yeah,
though.
Liam Neeson's though. Yeah, dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I also love when they act like the Hindu guys or the Indian, like Pakistanis, and like someone walks by, he's like, hey, the eyebrows, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah.
And they're like touching each
It's
other and
just,
stuff.
Like, dude, they can play any
Yeah.
character.
Amazing.
Like any culture, anything.
They're
they
great.
can play it
They're
and
great.
sell it, and
Key
it's amazing.
Key is better than Peel, I think.
Key's
a lot better.
Key's the tall one?
bald one. Keegan
But
Michael
Peele
Key.
makes actual good movies.
Yeah, Key. I
like
want to
Get
say
Out or whatever.
I want to
like,
say
that's a
Peele
good
is
movie.
better at the actual writing and like scripting
Sure.
and
Yeah,
directing.
yeah.
But as far as acting, I think Key takes the cake. I
yeah,
think Key
yeah.
is a better actor.
Dude, did you guys ever
But-
watch Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Wayne Brady.
Key had some guest appearances
Really?
on that back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
He
dad
is
watches like
older.
throwbacks of those,
Yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Is Wayne
age,
Brady gonna have that joke of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. His age amazing because he's looked the same for like
Yeah.
30 years.
Black don't crack, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forever.
he looks great, and it's like I see
You should be Key for Halloween next year, dude.
You could be.
I don't
You got the
wanna
same.
shave, man. I
You
don't
got the
wanna
same
shave.
tone, man. You could be him.
Yeah. We're both bald.
Just put on a face mask.
Yeah, so that's
I-
number two, man.
I like the top
I
five
will
within the
stop
top five
every
dude.
day.
We're
and watch
breaking
their skits.
barriers left and right.
We're
now,
doing
dude.
it, man. I haven't broken any
I mean-
rules, but it's fine. You guys do your thing.
I mean, you broke a
You
rule.
literally just
You
put a
did.
list inside
No,
the
I was
list.
just adding
You
extra
didn't ask
content.
anyone, dude.
Yeah, I was adding
You didn't
extra
ask anybody.
content.
It's
Ask myself.
But the problem is
leader of
the
the
reason
show.
for me wouldn't be on a list.
I'm the
like-
talent.
I'm the
I'm the
talent.
talent.
I don't have to ask shit.
For me, it wasn't being on a list like this is because the show was irrelevant. Like each one of those can be
Yeah.
is by itself good. Like
Yeah.
the
I
show
consume
is
it
just
on YouTube.
Exactly. That's where
Yeah.
I've consumed it on YouTube.
Yeah.
The show itself is like,
Yeah.
but like the clip because each one is they don't like. It's not a story. They're
Yeah.
they're independent of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on the
Sketches, yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, but that's just like a time frame when that was like a thing.
Sure.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
gone away since.
All right.
But yeah, YouTube.
Fair enough.
It
Yeah,
lives. It will live forever.
enough.
I'd throw it on my honorable mentions list. That's a great.
For sure.
I love their sketches.
That's
Love
good.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
all great. All right, my number two. Again, I just cannot make a list since I've seen every single episode. So that's like a qualifier. My number two is comedy. All of them have been comedies. Number two is Parks and Recreation.
I've not
Yes.
seen all these episodes. Again, very
Yes.
similar. Drop in here and there. I love it. Dude.
It is superior to The Office. That's maybe a hot take, but I like it better than The Office.
Yeah, don't tell Mike McEntee.
Yeah.
I do agree. Like it is better.
Amy Poehler is great. Fantastic. She's great. She's hilarious. Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman, hilarious. Aziz Ansari, who's Tom
Great.
Haverford,
Great.
fantastic. I mean,
Treat yourself.
Chris Pratt.
Treat yourself.
Chris Pratt's in it.
Bro, Chris Pratt.
I mean,
Chris Pratt's bloopers
yeah.
on Parks and Rec
Yeah.
are.
Yes.
I'll watch it once every 5 months.
Yes.
Just with the stuff he would say behind the scenes, like that. They got to be rolling all the time in that place.
Great. I mean, even
The
like
poop
Rob
marker.
Lowe. Rob Lowe's in it.
Just wipe and I wipe and I wipe it.
It's
It's
like a
just-
poop marker.
it's like there's a marker down there.
the character.
What about the best comeback story?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian? What do you mean?
Yes. We don't have to repeat all of it here, but yes. Great.
You've seen that one, right?
Is it a blooper?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
But Rob Lowe's in it for a while. He's
Rob Lowe was good.
And then I don't know the actor's name, but his name plays Ben. He's in Severance now. He's like the main character in Severance.
Yep.
He's in Step Brothers. He's younger brother in
Severance.
Step
Have
Brothers.
you guys watched Severance?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Heard a lot about it. Don't
He's
know
a great
about
actor. He's in it. I mean, the acting chops are across the board great, hilarious. All the characters are likable, or at least
Lighthearted.
charming. Funny beginning to end, heartwarming. Leslie Knope is just like a character who's just you can't help but love her because she's like trying her hardest at all times,
Right.
always
Yeah.
trying her hardest, and she can't get anything done in Pawnee, Indiana, like because the town's
Yeah.
crazy or whatever.
I love hearing
So-
Nick Offerman's stories like from
Yeah.
the show or whatever.
Dude.
Like, he said he just anywhere he goes, people just buy him like massive steaks and stuff.
That's right.
I was just Ron Swanson.
Yes.
That took on a life of its
100%.
own. Like merch game, everything, dude. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
one of the best Ron Swanson quotes is where he's like, I'll take all the bacon and eggs you have. And
Yes.
she's like, no, come back. I think what you meant, you heard me say was that I want a lot of bacon and eggs. No, I literally want all the bacon and eggs that you have.
Yeah.
Just like, Ron Swanson is, I mean, Nick Offerman's typecast. I can't not see him or hear Ron Swanson whenever I hear him talk.
I love how he's like, he just hates his job. Like, he's like, I don't believe the position I have should be gone. And then in one of the episodes, they're talking about like, oh, you're going to be on this because, well, I think we should cut it. And he's like he gets that smile. I was like, yes, cut everything.
Because he's the ultimate libertarian,
right?
Working in local government,
yes.
And it's like a huge like, I don't know. It is good. It's great.
I might give that a full watch because I've only ever seen certain episodes.
Teresa would you can watch it with your wife again, like easy watching. It's just funny.
I've seen like how many seasons of that are there?
I'm not sure, but there's a good, healthy number of episodes. So
if
you're ever like
I've seen like maybe 2 seasons, but I've consumed more of like clips and stuff.
Clips are great.
Yeah, great. I think I watched it through a couple times now. So, Parks and Recreation.
All right,
Parks
very good.
You surprised me with these. I thought maybe you come out of left field with some of these things.
Yeah.
Well, this one's not out of left field. My number 1 and Dave's number 1, Game of Thrones.
You're on my list.
Right?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, dude.
Easy.
Had to be.
Easy.
Had to be.
I made this list came up. I was like, number 1, Game of Thrones, and then I had to work on the rest.
All right, hold on. What's your number 1?
Heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah.
That came out when we were that for sure came out when you were a minor. So don't sit here and talk. I know for sure that came out.
What is Heroes?
Save the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Save the world.
Yeah.
Hayden Panettiere. My parents watched the first couple seasons about it, and then I never watched it. Though.
Yeah, no, I loved it. So it came out in 2006.
See,
there was 5 seasons, I believe.
Yeah.
What?
So
Dude,
I was 17.
Time out, bro. This whole time you're talking
17.
smack, and you're just gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
Am I the only person with a backbone at this table?
I did not watch it.
5A, 5B.
I did not watch it.
No, we established, bro. We cut that.
Yeah, I was hanging on debt. I was hoping he didn't know when that came out.
Bro, I remember that.
So what is Heroes, dude?
So it's a series about why I loved it. It was the closest thing like to X-Men as like any other like live action show could be without it being X-Men.
Sure.
I grew up as a kid, so Dave geeked out on Airbender and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. I was an X-Men character fan. Loved it. Had the comic books, all the stuff. And so that's why this really resonated with me.
We would not have been friends, dude, when we were kids.
We would have been. I kept my nerdiness closeted.
I would not have been friends with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, but what's Heroes about?
So it's about a solar flare or eclipse. Solar eclipse happens, and because of that, it gives certain people powers, right? And so all these different people, like overnight.
Just rando.
Overnight have these powers, right? And then it just follows different people.
Like X-Men stuff, like I can like cut stuff with my eyes. I can be I'm Superman.
Indestructible or whatever.
Yeah. One of the guys, the main guy that it follows, he is able to touch somebody and he can get their powers. So he's like Rogue from X-Men.
Oh, you've talked about this before, I think.
Yeah, I have. And because I got the guy who makes gold or whatever. That when we talked about our top 5 superpowers, that's from Heroes.
I still can't believe you're like, well, what do I do with all this gold? I mean, like you'd sell it.
No, I was talking about how to sell it.
Yeah.
But no, and then there's another guy. His name's Sylar. He's a
villain.
He's the antagonist in the series. He is able to also get powers from other people, but he has to essentially kill them to get those powers.
And so now it's a struggle between the good and the bad heroes.
Yeah, but he can keep all the powers. So he basically has to like kill you because he tweaks something in your brain. He finds out later he doesn't have to kill the people, but then he's just like, yeah, it's fun killing people. So I'm like,
okay.
But but he can keep all the powers that he obtains from other people. Whereas the main guy, he cannot. One at a time. Yeah, he can only have one at a time. And so, and there's a cheerleader in the movie, and there's like a premonition that you have to save the cheerleader to save the world, because eventually there's like a world catastrophic event that all the seasons build up to that they save.
So, and this is like around these people are like high schoolers?
No, the cheerleader girl was a high schooler, but then everybody else,
adults.
all random people, but then their storylines interweave, and then it comes to a close. But again, just like X-Men, but not X-Men, and that's why I loved it.
That sounds interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I want to go back and rewatch it, but it's probably one of those. It's like, all right, this is kind of old now, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it
2006,
holds up
yeah.
Yeah, the special effects will hurt.
anymore. Yeah,
I don't know anything about it. I'm not really interested in heroes, but that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
I knew you guys wouldn't love it, but
Yeah.
it was going to be on my list.
It's got to be. Hey, it's your
And
list.
I was 17.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But let's get to Game of Thrones.
Have you not seen Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay. Game of Thrones.
I know of it culturally
Sure.
and the references and seen stuff, but
It was the biggest. I've never seen before or since a phenomenon like Game of Thrones when it was at its height. It was absolute.
Yellowstone's pretty close.
I don't think so. I don't think it was as big as Game of Thrones was.
Just because you're not a Yellowstoner, I'm not saying it was as big. I'm just saying Yellowstone swept the nation.
But did Yellowstone, was it episode by episode? But it was
I think they
binge.
released seasons.
Yeah, so that's also different. This came out one episode at a time, a week, right? It was not like
Yeah. I do remember
that's a
you
little bit
talked
different,
about
right?
it. You
Like,
talked about it.
It's a
for
little bit
week.
different, where it's like the one episode comes out, and then the next episode comes out next week. You can't binge it, right? So
I don't know if I can do that really anymore.
I know, but
I also did not consume Game of Thrones until you told me about
Yes.
it and well, obviously I knew Game of Thrones or whatever, but you like convinced me to watch it, and I was like, this thing rocks, dude. It was sick.
I read the books, all of them that are out
Especially
times,
the last season was one of the best seasons.
until the final season. But anyway, Game of Thrones is not only my favorite TV show, is my favorite story I've ever read, the best story ever told, in my opinion. It is fantastic. How the epic scale, the character development, all these things, absolutely fantastic, unmatched.
I will give you in terms of the scale of it. It did have, from things I read in terms of like production budget and stuff like that. It kept increasing to where at one time they like spent like $100 million or something on like a season. That's been eclipsed since by crappier stuff. Lord of the Rings series, which was trash.
Yeah, it was not good.
But yes, to your point, like it was.
But see, the thing is, the problem, honestly, to me, the more money they spent, it got worse. The more money they spent, because that last season, season 8 of Game of Thrones, is a absolute travesty. And
Last season
I've
sucks.
never felt this way. Like when I saw the last couple episodes, I was like, for like a week, I was like legitimately upset about this for a long time. I could not. It was so bad. And like, I don't want to get off on it in this because it's been talked about today.
We're about to hit a rabbit hole.
But it was the
you
last
can't
season.
spoil
So
alert
bad.
when it's like, I loved Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
I can't bring up just specifics unless like there's certain specifics, but like the story way deeper than I do.
Mhm.
But if you start talking about something, I can rap with you. Like
Sure.
Yeah. This is not my number one because it was like it's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
I really did love it.
Mhm.
And it set me on my path to watching long form TV shows.
Sure. It's one of those things. I'm like, okay, watch episode 1. Watch episode 1. If you're not hooked after one, it's not like the first season.
I'm pretty sure I called you when they killed old boy, and I was just like,
Spoiler
"This
alert.
the main character, dog."
Yeah.
And you're just gonna get how
What?
can this show be any good?
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys.
Yeah, it was dope.
So you said like it gets to the episode or season 8.
Mm.
Most popular TV shows, all the producers and creators or whatever will tell you like there's a tipping point from after like season 5. There's like a sweet
But the
spot.
last ones weren't the OGs, right?
Yeah. No, they were.
But there's like a
I thought they brought in new writers, and that's why it was because they were like, I thought I had heard that they wanted to kill it. What was last season? 8?
8.
They wanted to stop it at like season like 6 or whatever, and they're like, no, we need another one. Like, fine, we'll do another one, and they wrote another one.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we need another one, and they're like, no, we already gave you no amount of money in the world. You're gonna kill the story, yada yada.
Yeah.
And so they brought in new writers
That's what I'm saying.
to finish it, is what I had heard.
Is there should they have in this one, and also your opinion of should no matter how popular the TV series is, should it have a stopping point at
No,
X number of
no.
seasons?
What are you, a communist?
I'm just saying because
No.
eventually you run out of ideas, things get
South
stale.
Park,
Like
Seinfeld.
South Park's different. I'm
Now
talking,
that-
yeah,
with an actual story to plot line all the way through.
yes.
So
where the characters,
my understanding is they have new writers, but the writers were essentially done. They had a Star Wars contract, and HBO, because it was, like I said, it was a phenomenon. HBO was like, here's a blank check.
When they have this.
And here you go. Like, we'll keep making seasons forever. Like, because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Right? But the writers were done with it, and they absolutely rushed through the last few seasons, and especially the last season. As soon as they run out, because the book material ends around season 5-ish, they run out of material that's written in the book so far. And then after that, they were kind of on their own. And
So once they were done plagiarizing, they couldn't come up with any original ideas.
Yeah,
kidding.
it's pretty much shot for shot from
Here's
the book.
content.
Yeah.
They changed it.
Make it
I want to
happen.
be a writer.
Exactly. But again, like, you're right that they spent all this money. But in season 1, they have like 100%. The first episode called "Winter is Coming." If you go on Rotten Tomatoes, at one point, 100%. There's it's like 100% rating, which is like off the charts, obviously.
Yeah.
That first season was a fantastic, and their budget was nothing.
When did they go beyond the ice wall with the giants and stuff?
I mean, they do that a couple different times. I mean,
What was
they do
the
that.
first time?
I don't remember. I want to say it's at the end of season.
Was it in the book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, because they were dope.
Yeah.
I like those.
But yeah. So what was I gonna say about it? I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah. Oh yeah. The first season, they had no battles. If you go watch the first season, there's no epic major battles. Right? They'll come onto the scene. The battle's over, and they clean up the battle or whatever, or they have little like one-on-one duels. But it's not till later where they have these epic grand scale battles where the whole episode's a battle.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing. Like, obviously the acting is always great from beginning to end, the set design, the costumes.
The best scene that I can remember, I mean, I'm sure there's like lots of good scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when they're fighting the ice people, and they have the dragons on the good side, and the ice people kill one of the dragons, or it dies or whatever, and I want to say it's like the end of the episode. They're pulling it out of the water with the chains, and the guy freezes him or whatever and brings it back to life. I legit remember being in my bed watching it and just being like, "Oh shit!" And Teresa's like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Dude, the game has changed." And she's
That
just
sounds
like,
tight, dude.
"You're a moron."
Tight.
I remember I couldn't control myself, dude.
And again,
Ice Dragon. That sounds
like,
cool.
so that
It was
'cause
gangster, bro. It was so gangster.
They tease it earlier, right? They're out beyond the wall, and they're like, "What's going on?" Like, trying to find what they're don't get a whole story, but they run into a bear that has blue eyes. It's undead, and it like attacks them. They're like, "Oh my god!" And then they kill it or whatever. Fight it off. They're like, "What?" It's kind of like a throwaway scene, but what they're showing you is that there's other creatures that can be undead, right? They show you that.
Look at this smile,
And then,
bro.
like,
You
dude,
see the smile on
it's
this
so
guy?
good.
I love it,
So
dude.
there's like
Because-
3 things that can get him there.
Again,
towards that
Yu-Gi-Oh,
one now.
Avatar Airbender.
Again, why they're beyond the wall is, to me, stupid. Like, the actual reason. But again, like, the plot. My only issue is the plot. Not, again, that's all that stuff is so visually stunning
Tight,
and
yeah.
cool. Like, it's no doubt about it. But like the plot goes from like,
You got one.
You got
dude.
one.
Damn, dude. Hey, we're 2 for 3 right here, Dave. Eat a gnat. Eat a gnat. Find a gnat and eat it, dude.
Do you guys think that there has been, so we talked Yellowstone, we talked Game of Thrones. Do you guys think that since those, there's been anything as grand as those
No.
two? And do you think, because there's got to be something else that comes at some point,
Nothing
right?
touched Game of Thrones until Yellowstone came out. And I disagree with Dave about like how like it's sweeping the nation and stuff. I think it absolutely did. I don't like, but it was like, because it wasn't episode by episode, so I think that gave it a lot more buzz, Game of Thrones. But it was up there. But since Game of Thrones, nothing's touched Yellowstone, and they can come out with something tomorrow, but I mean those two are just fanatical.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to look at the stats, but also like the reason Game of Thrones, I think it was just, to me, bigger because it had a world of its own. You could really dive in and sink your teeth into the lore of Game of Thrones, which Game of Thrones just doesn't have that. Like, it's not even close. It's just like Montana Farm. It's not the same thing as a entire separate universe. No. Like, again, it might be interesting and good, but it still is a ranch on Montana in the United States of America in modern day. Not an entire separate whole world with its own backstory, worlds, races, all this stuff. It's
Some
completely
might
different.
say Yellowstone's more impressive because it wasn't plagiarized off a book, though.
Exactly.
It's not original idea.
Well,
And it's
I mean,
in
They
America.
just put words to a movie.
Hey,
okay, well,
you love that place
Song of
so
Ice
much.
and
Why
Fire.
don't you move there,
Doesn't
Dave?
exist.
Okay,
Doesn't
we're in
exist, Matt.
America.
Doesn't exist, Matt. Yeah, honorable mentions. One of mine was Scrubs, but I actually eliminated it because I watched it first as in
I was
high
gonna
school.
say I watched that when I was a kid.
So I eliminated it, but it's definitely an adult
Thank
show.
you for governing yourself.
Yeah.
What else? What other honorable mentions?
Vikings. I prefer Vikings to The Last Kingdom.
You know what?
Which I like them
No,
both.
I disagree with you.
Me too.
Kirk put me on Vikings because I liked Last Kingdom so much.
Mm-hmm.
He was our buddy Kirk. Shout out. He was like, "You should watch Vikings." Like that's like a TBS version of, and I watched it. Vikings was great. I put it on my list. What else?
It's definitely not TBS. I mean, it's
No. I thought
Yeah.
it was. I was like, I've seen the best Viking show ever.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a sci-fi guy. Game of Thrones got me. I'm not a Viking guy. That got me.
Sure.
So I was like, I've already seen the best. Last Kingdom is the best.
Yeah.
Vikings was damn good.
See,
Although I think it is probably better than it. I would say.
I thought
Ragnar.
I think Vikings was more Viking-y
Bjorn
than
Ironside.
The Last Kingdom. Last Kingdom was all like on land. They weren't like in their ships as much.
Dang.
I feel like they weren't talking
He got
about.
you.
They weren't talking about like. I really love the
done.
Vikings. The Norse gods. How that.
Well, because
they're, like, the
but it was
religion
different
Yeah.
though because in the Last Kingdom they stayed in
in England or wherever they were.
yeah. Where the Vikings was more Viking.
Going
to
back
your
and
point,
forth,
To your
yeah.
point.
They didn't have a Floki that built boats and stuff.
Yeah.
Loki.
I love how they talk about Thor and they talk about Odin. They talk about
Helga.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good.
but they're both
Any more?
good. I watched both of those.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are both
yeah.
good.
I agree. Both are good.
Peaky Blinders is honorable mention.
Honorable
Again,
mention.
it didn't make because I haven't seen all of them. I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
To make
You'll
this
go
list.
back and watch. You can add to the list. That's fine.
Those are some good ones. I mean, those are top of my head.
Mine are. Have you guys ever heard Trailer Park Boys
Yes.
on YouTube? That's on it. Squid Games. Squid Games is an honorable mention for me. Recency bias. Tires on Netflix. Tires is
So
great.
I made a
with Shane
rule.
Gillis.
I
He's
made a
awesome.
rule for myself that it had to have 3 seasons for it to be on my list.
I don't make rules.
So I pulled a Dave.
I break them.
I just feel like you have to have 3 for
Yeah,
it to.
I feel you.
Be on
They're getting
there.
a 3rd season, so it can be on the list soon.
Yeah, because I really wanted to put Lioness.
Yeah,
on the list.
Lioness is. I could care. Lioness is like hit and miss.
Wrong.
But also Survivor,
You're wrong
which
about
is
that.
like a reality series, I
Yeah.
guess. But I've recently got into Survivor.
Nope.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. What on Survivor?
No.
Why?
I would.
It's okay for
I don't
you.
like
Because I said,
reality.
look at.
I don't like
That's
reality.
great for you.
You just become spiteful. We just stop becoming friends because I disagree with you
Oh, Survivor.
over and over and over.
Good for you.
Good for you. Bless your heart.
That fits.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
What are your honorable mentions?
I had Stranger Things.
Ooh, I haven't watched that one, but I've heard
That's another. You talk about phenomenons and stuff. That's in there.
that was a phenomenon.
They got
I
a final
agree.
season. Final season
agree.
coming
Yeah.
out
No thanks.
this year.
Yep.
Family Guy.
Family Guys, yeah, that's
That was
good.
on there.
I like Family Guy.
And then one with a comedy, Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
Dude,
Schitt's
Schitt's
Creek's
Creek's,
good.
I got tired of it. It was like same thing over and
did?
over and over.
Yeah.
But for the first
good.
couple of seasons, Teresa and I, that's when we watched together.
Yes.
We fell out of love at the same time of it, but it was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's great.
My wife
All the
loves it.
characters are great.
David.
Yes, dude.
Yes. Look at
Yeah.
us. Look at us.
David's character,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Moira,
Amazing.
dude, all of them, like all the main characters. When I was in it, we would binge like 2 or 3 at a
Yeah.
time.
What's his name? Is Dan Levy, I think. Is his
Yeah.
name? And then Eugene Levy is his
Eugene-
dad.
He's his dad in
Mhm.
the same series.
His-
And his sister was in it too. She was the
Twyla.
waitress.
Twyla, yep.
Yeah.
He can say more with his facial expressions than many
Yes.
actors can say with like a full vocabulary.
I send gifts
Uh-huh.
at him. all the
yeah,
time.
Oh,
yeah.
I do too, man. I send that to my wife all the time.
So funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
good show. If my wife was making the list, that's her number one. She loves.
Really?
She's seen that one many times.
yeah.
So, all right, boys, good list.
Good pod. Sorry, Hayner was coughing so much at the
We're at
end.
the hit the edit button.
The thing came from me, dude. He said, I got this other day.
He's like,
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
They're coordinated. They're
Yeah.
working together. They become self-aware.
Yeah. I'm gonna pour bleach in these plants.
Yeah.
What
secretly.
do-
There you go.
Just kill everything.
Yeah. Like, hey, Dave, you better go check on the dogs.
But then Chelsea would have to redecorate our studio.
yeah. Hopefully with fake plants this time.
There you
Thank
go.
you guys for listening.
Shout out, Mrs.
It was a
Carson.
fun one.
And we'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.
All right, let's wrap it.
That's staying in.